Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday's Rizzuto Show. Post Father's Day. I'm talking like this because we were watching all the replay from yesterday's big race.
Oh, nice.
The crashes.
The fun stuff.
The excitement. Of course, Rizz was the Grand Marshal, which is friggin' unbelievable.
He's made it, folks.
Grand Poupard.
He has made it. You know, that's like a...
That's
I would say dream come true, although I'm not even sure one would ever dream of being a Grand Marshal, but certainly a goal that he... oh, thank you, Lern. Lern was passing over the texter number because somehow we lost it on our master sheet up here, and I was like, does anybody know the texter number? We're going to need that at some point.
Yes.
It's 314-649-DUMB, 649-3862. So you can text us. But yeah, we'll be talking... all things weekend, Father's Day. Obviously, we're going to let Rizz talk his stories and everything with what happened. But a couple of you guys went down there to support him yesterday.
Dude.
I saw a couple photos. I'm going to want to hear about that. But first, the exciting weekend news from me and Lern. Lern, what did you do over the weekend?
I celebrated my stepdad, Jerry, yesterday by drinking beers on my deck with him. And I took him out for a fish and chips
Did you get him
dinner.
in a little swimming pool?
No, no, I haven't gotten that out yet. So, you know, it hasn't been hot enough or sunny enough to get the Hoosier pool out in my driveway yet.
You don't think this weekend was hot enough? It was
gross.
sticky.
It was like, it wasn't sunny though. It was like intermittently sunny. I need like a full blown 98 degrees, full humidity, sunshine galore, you know? Yeah. So.
Well, you had off on Friday because you went to a big summer concert series show. You saw Heart down.
I saw Heart down at the Fox.
Right?
No, it was at the Fox.
Oh, it was the Fox.
Yes.
Whoa, even cooler.
Yeah,
not that
even
the
cooler.
amphitheater's not cool, but
yeah, I got to sit front row thanks to my friend Lisa.
Whoa.
And saw a million people I knew. And then honestly, like Nancy Wilson was 20 feet away from me. It was the coolest damn thing. Ann Wilson sounds great, but she can't really she can't really stand up on stage. She needs help getting around. So that was hard to see. She's had a lot of health issues, obviously. But no, they were excellent. They played every banger and played some Zeppelin like they normally do. Great band. We were trying to figure out, you know, Dave from Killer Vintage.
yeah.
So there's a guy.
Killer Vintage is the vintage
shop.
guitar shop down on was it Arsenal?
Yeah, and every time a good band comes into town, they go to Killer Vintage to get guitars or get tuned up. Or
I think the last
whatever.
time when Green Day was in here, Billy Joe has an obsession with certain Gibsons, and I think he went in there about 2 or 3.
Yes.
Wow.
And that's not uncommon. And for a second, we thought it was actually Dave playing bass on stage because he had a Killer Vintage T-shirt on, and it kind of looked like him, a little younger. But yeah, it was a great show. And as we're walking out, you know how at the Fox, like they got the buses parked in the back and you can kind of see them. I yelled, I've done this before with Carlos Santana where I got to be like, bye Carlos. And he like waved and Nancy Wilson was walking to her tour bus and I was like, Nancy. And I was like, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. And she turned around and waved and I was like, oh my God.
Right.
It was so cool. So it was a great night and I'm happy that I didn't have to watch the clock.
And what a great place to see that, too.
I know.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty special shows at the Fox.
It's special, man.
I wouldn't want to see all my favorite shows there, but like sometimes, especially when they kind of get like when the bands get a little bit older, and you're not wanting them to run around or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, show me what you can do sitting down.
Yeah. And it was definitely a sitting down crowd, except for like the very end. They played some David Bowie and did a little mashup of some different songs, but man, they still got it.
I can't wait for like 20 years to pass and I can go see Guar there when they're not running around as much.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'll
Be
be
funny
nice.
to splay someone on the table while in a motorized wheelchair.
That'll be great.
Guar on Rascals.
Can you imagine sitting down and trying to dodge the blood and you know what's coming at you?
Yeah, just let it happen, Harold. You'll blow your hip out slipping on the Guar blood. Everyone's gonna have 4-wheel drive tires on their hover routes.
Oh man, what's the last show you saw at the Fox? Any of you guys? I did see. I saw Smashing Pumpkins there.
That's good.
That was the infamous Smashing Pumpkins show.
Oh, the one that didn't.
That I loved because I didn't pay for it, and they ended it with like an 11-minute bird whistle solo.
Oh,
and like didn't play a lot of the hits, and I was like, yes, he's trolling us. I love this, and people were pissed.
I bet.
Pissed. That was in an interesting era of Smashing Pumpkins, but I thought it was cool as heck to see that band in that scene.
Yeah. And it's fun to see a grunge band doing what grunge bands are supposed to do, where they just kind of go
Just
off the
do rock
rails.
and
They
roll?
rebel and it's just kind of fun.
It was rebellious, and I appreciated that.
Yeah.
I don't think I was in the majority though. I saw Alison Krauss in Union Station there. Maybe the single best show I've ever seen in my life.
I saw her with Robert Plant.
Oh, really? How
And
was
it was
that?
excellent.
At Fox?
At Fox, yeah. That was the first time I think it was like 2010 or so. And that was the first time I got to see Robert Plant and her. I wasn't necessarily like an Alison Krauss fan, but he went on the road with her and she was excellent. And
Yeah,
that was
she's
so
special,
cool.
man.
And both their albums are crazy.
Fan of the Opera. I've seen many, many times there. I'm an obsessed sort of fan.
Yeah.
All right. What about you? You seen anything? Didn't you just see
You're an obsessed. Oh yeah, you
Phantom
do
of the
what?
Opera? Dude, that's one of the reasons I'm
Music
in
of the
music.
Night.
Yeah, all of it. What didn't you see something pretty special there recently? One of your favorite bands?
Man, I was just trying to think. I saw Jason Isbell there. I was trying to think who I saw last there, but it all runs together. I'm like, was that the Stiefel or was that the Fox?
Right.
Like, I
Yeah.
can't
What?
remember.
You can't tell a difference?
I can, but
It's
I,
similar.
I go to so many shows. It's like my brain doesn't register that all the time.
Yeah.
What comedians have you seen there? Because that's a great spot to see comedians.
Oh, dude, I got a
I got to perform there
You
right
did?
out of COVID.
What?
Oh, that's great.
And that was a cool experience, but it was also weird because it was a post-COVID, so every 6 seats were taped off.
Oh, that's weird.
So technically we sold out the Fox, but it was like we only sold like 500 tickets or
Yeah.
I don't remember, it was like 600 tickets. And it was cool and a fun experience, but it was also that like coming off COVID, everyone was not used to being out in public yet and still kind of weirded out being around people. You could feel it, you know what I mean? And, you know, I quote unquote headlined, you know, there's like 8 comedians and I was last, basically is what it meant. But it was a cool experience to be because I got to sign my name inside the O of the Oak Ridge Boys backstage.
Oh,
You know, they
heck
told me
yeah.
not to, and I'm pretty sure they scrubbed it off. But I also signed my name next to Waylon Jennings for real backstage, and that was kind of cool. And I just remember like being like, man, this venue is so big. And when you felt the empty seats, let's put it that way. When you're when laughter, it's not like I don't have a guitar. I can't just like melt their face off. It was just like tell your joke, and then you'd hear people be like,
Well, that's a
off in
spot.
the distance.
That's a spotlight place too.
Oh, yeah,
And what I
it's
mean by
huge.
that is like there are certain stages where you're being spotlit, no matter what. If it's a rock and roll concert or whatever, it's a spotlight venue.
Yeah.
So when you're on the stage, and it's a huge stage, and it's a big open sort of black space in front of you, when the spotlight's on you, you actually can't really see the crowd. So it feels, even when it's full, or if it's empty, it feels like you're just singing to space, and there's not a lot of response because it's a sit down sort of, you know, hands folded, I'm watching you sort of venue. So it's a nerve-wracking space for somebody that's used to a different sort of stage, and it's amazing. That's super cool. Even you know, with 500 people there, I bet you that was
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's still
special
you know, top 10 life experience probably to get to do that. I hope we get to go back and do it when it's full someday because I got to do Stiefel with Tig and Pat and Oswald last year, and that was awesome.
That's great.
Because I was sold out and you could feel it. And Stiefel's a cool venue too because it's a theater, but they're on top of you, so it feels more like a. When you're looking for laughs, it's way more compacted and it feels really cool. It feels like you're in a club. Like the laughs are big. Because sometimes in the theater you got to wait it out because it goes all the way to the back of the room and comes back, and it can mess up your timing as a comic, which I know no one probably cares about but comics. But it was cool. I hope I get to do it again. And it was cool to go backstage. Like when you get to go backstage at the Fox and see all the history and like, dude, there's like Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin signed the wall. You know what I mean? Like
They're full back there. It's just
it's so full. There were like, I mean, Cab Calloway. Like there's people from pop culture history
Yeah, and then there's
all over the backstage
and then
area.
there's
So like,
us.
I know. Has everybody signed it? I've signed it back there.
Yeah.
There's like a Keishi area. So like whenever we
Yeah.
did a tour back in the day, like U-Man and JC Corcoran and stuff, I found it and then I like put my little name
That's awesome.
Yeah.
back there.
I've signed the one in Milwaukee and Atlanta, but not the St. Louis.
That's cool.
I want to though.
You need to.
I know.
I did it next to a guy who actually played Phantom of the Opera. I was nerding out because
that's your Waylon.
You
I
had a
know,
mask.
dude. Well,
You are a nerd.
It's funny. So we were playing it with Tony La Russa, and he invited us to do his ARF benefit. Remember when he was doing Animal Rescue Foundation? And it was us and David Nail, who's like a country guy who's originally from St. Louis, who's freaking amazing. It should have blown up, but never really did.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about, David Nail?
I do.
Dude's great.
I just admit I got a thinking problem.
Dude's really great, especially when he's coming through your speakers, when he's backstage trying to sound check, and you're performing in front of a sold-out Fox, and his guitar is coming through your monitor
Kind of
while
look
you're
like
trying
Paul
to sing.
Hogan.
Paul Hogan. Crocodile Dundee?
Yeah, look up David Nail.
Really?
I remember
you think
back
David
in the
Nail
day.
looked like Crocodile Dundee?
He did, man. He looked like a weathered
Wait.
old Croc Dundee.
David Nail,
I don't
who's
think we're
46.
thinking of the same guy.
Yeah, he's like our age. I think you're.
I don't think he looks like
I'm
Paul
thinking
Hogan,
of
pal.
someone else, dude.
Now he kind of looks like he came from,
He,
like the Daughtry scene or the Creed scene.
Yeah, we're
or
talking
something.
about.
I'm pretty sure my worship leader in youth
He's
group was
5'3".
that guy.
He's my height, and he's from Kennett, Missouri.
Yeah, I
Hey.
felt real
Plays the
tall.
Sheryl Crow.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Anyways, it was us and him and one of the former. This was
Thinking
when,
of David Ball.
David Ball.
this is
He's a
different.
90s country guy. That's why I thought you were referencing it. He does look like Paul Hogan.
Well, it
so.
was us and this guy, and I didn't know who the guy was because I didn't recognize the name. And I see this guy who's pacing, and he's in, the stairwell. Where you guys are talking about, where all the murals and there's
Yes.
signatures. And this dude, real tall, handsome-looking guy, and he's singing he's singing. He's belting, but he's like kind of pacing nervously and warming up in the stairwells, almost as if, he's performing for one of the first times or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm listening, and I'm like, this guy's good. He's freaking ripping in the stairwell, dude. I'm gonna go down maybe in between, see if I can say hello. And all of a sudden he starts doing Phantom songs. And I was like, oh, this is my guy. I love this guy. I don't know what he's doing here, but I love this guy. And I went down and...
Did you start duetting, whether he asked for it or
no,
not?
Were you behind an
You're
organ
at the-
with a mask?
You're at the top of the stairs, watching, waiting, only in this moment.
let me be your Sarah Brighton.
And he's like, who said that?
You're no Michael Crawford.
You're you rappelled in with the mask on.
I did come down the stairs because I saw him down and I'm like, I was above him looking down, as a...
From the
angel of the night.
ghoulish light of day. He's like, I'm not even singing that song. And you're
No,
like, we are now.
I had no in because I wasn't paying attention and I didn't know who was doing what. I just saw his name and I didn't know what he was.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no in except for, oh, look at that. Prince signed the wall right here. It was one of those. And I was like, hey, we should sign it. We're playing Fox. Not knowing that this guy probably played Fox 30 times. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, here's the marker. Let's sign it. Sign the wall. And I was like, hey, I'm Moon. He's like, I'm Tim Gleason. And I was like, cool, man. Like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm singing some Phantom. I was like, no way, dude. No
I
way.
hadn't noticed.
No.
Like, well, you had a mask on half your face. Do I?
I was like, that's great, dude. Like, what are you doing? He goes, I sing Phantom. And I was like, oh. Like for a living. I was like, well, please tell me you're not in the show. And he's like, yeah, it was the latest Phantom before they shut everything down. And I was like, oh. So he was Raoul apparently for a number of years, and then he was Phantom. And to say that I found out would be an understatement.
That's so
good. Super nice dude. It's fun to watch him perform, and that was a special thing. Fox is ridiculous. What'd you guys do for Father's Day? Anything special?
You guys were with your daddy, Rizz. So,
Yeah.
Well, I kept calling. My daddy never answered. So
well, because we're in the Dead Dad Club, pal.
okay.
But you did do something special.
Yep.
You hung out with the granddaddy of the Rizzuto Show.
That's right.
St.
The
Louis.
granddaddy of NASCAR.
And the
Our
Grand
daddy.
Marshal. Yeah,
You guys, daddy.
you guys
Fun.
went out there, and it's not showing at all on your super red
I know.
sunburned faces.
Scott could not be more pink right now. Your
Yeah.
hair, your shirt, and your skin
Yeah,
is
dude.
all one color.
Salmon, brother.
It
I'm
looked
tan.
it looked like you guys celebrated Father's Day weekend either at the pool or at the race.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I guess you guys
I got
out
race
there
face.
pretty early, right? Race starts around noon or 1 or something?
No, the
No.
race starts at 7 because
Oh, my goodness.
they moved the time because it got picked up nationally on Fox.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So it aired on primetime, not Fox Sports, Fox
Big time.
primetime race. So they moved it to 7.
Fox.
Fox.
Yeah.
So it was a nationally televised race, which is good, great for Bommarito. And we went out there at 11:30 and parked in the employee parking lot, which was a mistake.
It's in St. Charles, isn't it?
Yeah, and then they're just
a
like, just
ways
walk
away.
down the drag strip. And so we took off walking, man. And by the time we got to the end, you get on that asphalt at noon,
a
nightmare.
even on a remotely hot day.
Yeah, you're cooking.
I just looked at Scott and I was like, go on without me. It melted my boots. It melted like the sole of my boot to where the rubber just popped out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I saw that flapping around.
Yeah, so it was very hot. But it was cool, man. We had a good time. It's when they roll out the red carpet for you, man. It is it's a huge undertaking, and it was shout out to I'm sure he'll talk about his experience tomorrow. But if you want to check it out, you can check out the Rizzuto Show Instagram stories. I tried to document the day, and it's all there. And
they're so good to us, Chris, and everybody over at the racetrack is so good too. The whole area, obviously, they've been rewarded for it. They've been working so hard this last decade on building that up, and then here we are on Fox with Rizz doing the Grand Marshal. And I mean, I had a lot of buddies who are race fanatics. Like I kind of lean on them when I need any sort of race information, and they were all in town for this race.
Dang,
this was a big.
That is awesome.
This was a big one.
Well, it's wild to think that track. What they say in 2013 or 14 was about to be completely demolished and built for condos and stuff.
Yeah, and here they are.
And now they're on Fox. It's just wild.
Yeah,
how big it is.
Pretty amazing. Yeah.
And it's an event, dude. It's like a county fair out there. There's cars. There was a car, dude, and I put it in our stories. I was like, "This is the Track 270 car." It was like
that was sick.
An Oldsmobile Toronado,
nice,
black.
Well, tell us
that thing was a mile long, and I'm like, this is the thing I want to drive. They had some cool cars. They had the new one of those new all-electric VW vans.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It looks actually
coming out.
sweet.
They're not even supposed to be out yet, and they had one on display, and it was neat, man. Like fully electric.
They're like the microbuses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's pretty big. It's bigger than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, it's bigger than the old bugs, but it's nice.
Bug?
I mean,
bus?
VW vans, yeah.
Bus.
Well, tell us a little bit about your story without giving away. Without giving away Rizz's experience, but so you guys got there pretty early. Yeah. I mean, Rizz is off today because he was there for the entire thing, even did the presentation, and
I think he stayed for the after party too.
Right, and that's what I heard. I heard that not only do these dudes and gals do this and train and get up early and do all this stuff and then race all day and night, which is about a 4-hour race, right?
It has to be, because they said it was, I guess without once you get all the wrecks and breaks out of the way, it's like maybe condensed to 2 hours, but it was far longer than that.
Okay, so let's say 3-something hours. That's not in until 10 p.m. And then the drivers and the crews, they go to an after party.
Yeah.
This is rock and roll, dude.
And now you know why. Whenever, because I got to stand there when they were all coming by to get on the track, and I mean they look like they're 17 to 21-year-olds, like they're so young, and I'm like, that's why.
Well, I want to hear if Rizz went to the after party. You guys didn't, right? What time did you guys get out of there?
We got out of there right after the big wreck.
Yeah.
Where the guy flipped over and probably lap 100-ish.
Because we made a pact that we're leaving around 7:30 and we left at
9.
So you saw...
We made a blood pact. We wouldn't stay a minute past 7:30. And at 9 o'clock, I go, hey, man, we've really violated our blood pact.
So seeing that wreck, like the closest thing I've ever seen to that is at the Missouri State Fair when we used to watch the wing sprint cars and the stock car racing and all that. And I've seen some crash, and it is wild to see crashes because you
are different, because that actually hurts in those cars.
Yeah, I mean it's scary, and at the same time it's exciting. I hate to say that, but it is. And once everybody walks away and everybody's great, you're like, wow, that was amazing to see. But I've never seen anything at that kind of speed. What is it like? Because if I remember right, or if I saw right on that replay, they crashed right by the stands, right?
Yeah, right there. And that turn coming into the stands, and New Gardner was his name. He's basically the big dog of the league right now. And woo, he flipped over, slid upside down forever, and you see his hands trying to come out of the top of the car and grind on the ground, but he held him in.
That's $1 million too, right?
That's all I could think about. And I know that's sad because there was a human being inside that car, but when it was sparks were flying off of his helmet, I was like, whoa, that's $2 million sliding down the track right now.
Really? $1 million a car?
And it was the big guy. The guy that wrecked was like
the man.
The guy winning all the races. I can't remember his name, but
New Gardner.
Yeah, New Gardner. He's like #1 in the points.
Oh no!
And he's won this race like 5 or 6 years in a row. So he's won the Bommarito 500. This is his track.
But it was good for Santino. He moved right on up. An extra little.
Oh yeah, the guy that was on the show.
Yeah.
He had a bad qualifying round, so he had to start 19th, but he finished 5th,
which is incredible.
I mean, he did great.
Santino, you mean?
Yeah.
Not the guy that crashed.
No, he did good on qualifying.
But we got to go down there, and we got to see Rizz got to do the 2-seater thing. So we went down for that on the infield, and that's when my boots thoroughly melted.
That was the hottest moment of the day.
Explain. What's the two-seater?
So you get into IndyCar. He had to suit up, sign a waiver.
Get on out of here.
I made him do a last will and testament before he got in of who inherited the show. Turns out it's King Scott.
Yep.
You got his CD collection. Congratulations.
Yeah, I got a CD collection.
We got nothing.
His homo.
Later, he willed me his wife and kids.
I'd rather have nothing than a CD collection. He basically says, here, you throw this
out. First he said Scott gets the show and his wife and kids. Yeah. And I go, wow, it feels like you really lopsided all this. And then later, as we walked through the actual race, he renegotiated his will after he survived the two-seater. Scott still got the show, but I get the wife and kids now.
Yeah,
that's
and the
sweet.
homo collection. That's what all I wanted.
I get the CDs and Lern gets nothing?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep.
That's fine.
Doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like his daughters. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, he said, tell you he appreciates you. That's what he said.
Oh, that's very, you know what? I'll take it. That's really good.
Better than the CDs.
That's cool.
But it was, the two-seater thing was cool, and there was a guy named Todd Bailey down there. I believe that was his name, right? Yeah. And this dude, like ALS, was like a bucket list thing. He got to do the two-seater. Like, he was there with Rizz, man, and he did it, man. They put him in the car, loaded him up, and they go like 170 miles an hour for 2 laps.
Holy smokes, are you kidding
enough to
me?
wet your pants.
Rizz had to sign off, put on the helmet, put on the suit. Drivers were all business. He's like, man, I was trying to, like, ham it up with the driver, and they were just locked in.
Yeah.
So they had, like, 4 cars going. They load 4 people in, and then... and they were back in, like... a minute. 2 full laps, mile and a quarter. Because, I mean, they're flying, dude.
Yeah, because the
lap is like 30 seconds.
Yeah, the Indy cars are hitting about 19 to 20 seconds a lap.
Oh, my goodness, I can't imagine.
Yeah, we timed it. We were like little kids when we got down in the pits, and we were like, just time them, dude. Like, and it was like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They go by again. I go, that's crazy, man.
And then he taps you on the shoulder and goes, hey, guys, I'm back.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he got to do that, and that was pretty rad to see. And you can sign up for that, apparently. Like, I didn't know that. You can just sign up.
Is it a lottery?
I don't know if it's a lottery or pay to play or just like who gets there first, but I think if you're over the age of
16?
18, but then someone said 14, so I don't know the deal. But it was cool, man, to watch. Like, I saw a buddy of mine, and his friend bought it for him, and he's like, I'm claustrophobic. Couldn't do it, and he just gave it to his friend. His friend switched into the coveralls.
Wow.
Because, you know, and he can tell you when he gets here, I didn't experience it, but he was like, man, you can't move. He's like, you can't turn your head. I never knew those guys when they're on the track. They don't look behind them. They got a spotter that's like, move 6 inches to your left, go right, because the G-force is so strong in those things, like you can't turn your head.
Their helmet's like locked in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Clipped in or something. So it's like the bat suit, you know, the Michael Keaton bat suit.
Yeah, dude.
You know, they got to
You're
turn the car.
full on Batman.
They got to turn the car to turn their head. Well, so you guys were on the inside of the track. So tell me, if you were to tell somebody that doesn't know what racing is or isn't into it or any of that kind of stuff, what would you tell them is one of the coolest things that they'll experience that they're probably not expecting that they're going to experience?
Well, I think one of the surprises is, obviously, like he said, it's like a carnival or fair. I mean, it's got incredible food. It's got all these neat companies coming out there showing off their awesome products everywhere. But, I mean, yesterday we had Soul Asylum and a Sponge played as well. But Soul Asylum, just to hear them, they're so good. And it was just so fun. It just felt neat. I mean, they do a good job of keeping, you know, here's this thing happening now. Here's this thing. They got all these moving pieces, and it flows so seamlessly and
constant entertainment the whole day.
It's awesome.
So where do the bands play, and when does that go down?
They played at 4 o'clock or 4 o'clock behind
Turn 4.
So we were in Turn 4, which was like the Bommarito experience. They had all these little palapas they build.
This is inside the track.
No, this is
on Turn 4. Like, they're not inside the track. They're like behind us.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's like a little carnival row of like lemon shake-ups and corn dogs and all kinds of games and cool classic cars.
Oh, awesome.
Race cars, the kids can get in. They had little, the coolest thing, man, that I loved, the riders, like Ferrucci came rolling up on like this electric motorcycle. They all got electric motorcycles to ride around inside. And I was like, man, let me get on that thing, dude. He's like, hop on it. And I started to get on it, and then immediately someone shut that down. Immediately someone's like, you didn't sign anything. And I go, oh, come on, let me ride this thing, man. But it was cool in the way that, and honestly, as I've reached that level in my life where I don't like to be hot. So the best thing about it was at the Bommarito Pavilion, they had these outdoor air conditioners that were just like blowing cold air and would be, after we were already scorched, like by 1 o'clock, I'm like, we're both sunburned. It's over.
Yeah.
We were just up, Scott and I were just standing in front of those, and honestly, clutch. They were
Free
so
water
clutch.
sitting 2 feet away from you, and that's the way to also watch the races. Get the Bommarito experience, man. That's how you do it.
Yeah, man. It was. They do it up right, man. It's an all-day event.
Yep.
And we get to go. His family got to come. Kids, his mom's in town, so everybody came down, and then. He was getting, he was grand marshaling it up, so he was going from place to place. He got to bring Soul Asylum. One thing that you would love, man, was when they announced all the drivers, because they do a whole thing from the stage, and the drivers walk to the pits, and everybody can, like, high-five them as they're walking in and stuff. So all the fans and kids, but they had Boy Scouts of America there, because for Father's Day, so for each driver they announced, they had a Boy Scout troop leader and their son walk out with them. And I thought that was pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
That was a nice little Father's Day treat for those kids and for those dads.
Sweet. Sounds like fun. Did you guys? Were there any like blimps or helicopters and things around?
There's a lot of helicopters.
Yeah, because they're all doing the footage for Fox, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, there was a lot of those floating around, and I didn't see a blimp. But they had. It was really funny at the very beginning of the race when they started doing the pace car out there. They shot off like the most intense fireworks I've ever seen. I mean, insane amount.
Wow.
And it was so funny. Like there's highlights on that I saw today of the people that were facing the opposite way. And when those went off, everyone like ducked. So it scared the tar out of everybody. But to see the cars, they did it just perfect where it's down to one of the far side of the track. And so as the cars are coming around that turn, they start popping off. So the cars follow all those fireworks all the way down. It was pretty sweet. I was like, man, that's good.
Awesome. What?
But yeah, it's a great. If you're not even into racing, I encourage you to go out there. It's so amazing. It really is special.
And dude, and then Michelle, the gal that was here when Chuck came in.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Incredible. Her energy. I need someone like that in my life. She is on it. Because the moving parts of the day.
Oh, I can't imagine.
She's in charge of Chuck and Rizz and the Grand Marshal and so many people, and she was just unbothered and
smooth,
a boss, and just had us golf carts to take us everywhere. Once we got there, other than the parking snafu, there was no stone left unturned for us.
No.
Fed us good, took us to the private suite.
Yep, got to meet the dog.
Got to meet
John Bommarito's puppy.
Cool dude. He's super nice.
He's super nice, yeah.
It was cool, man. It was a fun day, and they really rolled out the red carpet. They took care of our boy and his family, and it was like a bucket list item. I don't think he realized was a bucket list item until he got to do it.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like it's like a dream come true, even though you didn't have the dream. It's a dream come true.
When we went out, because we got to walk in with the drivers, which this was one thing I do want to say. We ladder invested it, dude, and I was pretty pumped. I got like 14 bracelets on right now because that's how
you
how
didn't take them off. That's awesome.
I wanted people to see on
you
the
look like a Bonnaroo enthusiast.
I have 4 bracelets and a luggage tag on me because that's off.
There it goes.
This was to be on the hot track.
I hope you made a good wish.
So while he was on stage announcing the drivers, I just told one of the people, I was like, hey, sorry, there's been a mix-up, but I'm Rizz's videographer. I'm supposed to be backstage. I don't know, because they just were moving him around, and the lady's like, what?
You go, hey, man. I
go, yeah, I'm here with the Grand Marshal. I'm supposed to be logging all this, and I'm like, sorry if you didn't get the memo. And she's like, fine. Like, she's like, I know you're lying, but I don't want to, I have other things to do.
Right.
So they just gave me like this pink bracelet, which meant I could go on the track during the race as media. And I went backstage, and he was up on stage with the drivers, and there was like a lady from Fox, like the television broadcast, and I go, hey, I'm with the Grand Marshal. I was really throwing the Grand Marshal weight around.
Heck yeah.
You probably said it more than he did.
Yeah, and I go, I'm with the Grand Marshal. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and go up there if that's okay. And she's like, I'd rather you didn't because you're going to be on camera. And I go, well, that hurts.
Oh,
that hurts to hear.
What
but
does
that's
that
fine.
even mean?
I think
You're
it was
sweating
just,
profusely.
Yeah.
yeah, you're sunburned. You're sweating. You're holding a sugar fire barbecue right now.
I can see sweat stains through your black T-shirt.
I'm like,
got ice cream
sorry.
stains on your shirt.
You're holding an ice cream cone, sir. You don't look like a serious person. And
You've got 7 bracelets on. Clearly, you're not someone important.
but I do want to say we got on. So I got on the track, the hot track, when we walked out, and that was the cool. That's when I think it set in for him. Like we were walking through the cars, like right down the middle, and there's like there's
cool.
$1 million Indy car to our left and right, and we're walking right down the middle of the track to take him to the front to get in the pace car, and all of a sudden, King Scott and Amelia, his wife, appear. And I go, how the hell did you guys get down here? And they're like, we vested it. We were like, we're with them. They made a mistake they grand marshaled their way onto the track too. So we had 4 people.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have 1. I think we had, as a party, we had the most people on a hot track.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And what was wild
We had our own, that was a pit crew's only 5 guys. We almost had a whole pit crew.
Yeah. But no, she wanted to be with Rizz, obviously, when we went across, and we got separated. So we took off running, and there's a tunnel you can take over there. And then, so we got through the tunnel, and then they have everything closed off. There's a big fence up, for the crews separating the parking lot. And we ran through there, and security stopped us at first. And whoever the guy is that had big headphones on and told the guy to let us go, he was yelling at him,
knew you.
like, go, 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 let him go.
Yeah, he
and
knew you.
whoever that is, thank you so much, because
Big time assist.
you made her. I mean, she was so excited whenever we got through that, and we ran down that row, and it was just really fun to, to see her excitement to see her husband out there on the track. It was really special.
I was so impressed because when I talked my way in, the lady was like, don't lose sight of me. You and Rizz, your job is you follow me, you watch my red shirt, and you go everywhere I go. And I go, got it. They're running loose on the track, dude. No chaperone, just a sunburned pink man with his hair in a giant bun.
Yeah, had a big bun running around.
There's a long-haired lobster running down the track.
And a very assertive Russian woman running down the track unkempt and unsupervised.
I only have 3
and I was
bracelets.
like, this is the most Rizz show thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I was like, we are never being invited back.
Yeah, I only have 3 bracelets. He has a collection of them, and we got to go to the same places. It was fun.
I was impressed, and I was like, man, we really, if his kids would have came running up, I'm like, we're doing this at Willie.
Man, that's awesome.
Dry run.
Well, thanks for sharing the highlights. I mean, they're showing them on the TV a whole bunch. Obviously, it's a highlight-filled show. And, man, I'm sorry I missed it. I'm bummed that I missed it. But I was doing a little, just chilling.
Yeah.
It was a Father's Day chill for me. I did not.
Well, how was the gig on Saturday?
Saturday was great, man. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
We did a Rotten Apple Fest in Sparta, Illinois.
Yeah, what was that like?
Only the second year that they've done it. And, the rain came out in the beginning of the show and pushed back the show a little bit, but everybody got their sets in. It was Tantric and Josie Scott doing all saliva stuff, and a couple bands from the Sparta side. One band that had only been together for a year and was
from
great.
Sparta?
Yeah, from Sparta, Illinois.
No. Oh, I thought you meant the band Sparta.
No, not from the band
whoa!
Sparta.
That would be cool.
Even better.
Sparta! Yeah, we know, dude.
We're all here. It was a great time though. Great crowd, super fun. I feel like any of those shows over on the Illinois side, everybody's just so stoked to have some great live music, and the event organizers put on a great show, and I hope to do it in the future.
So was it just a concert, or was it a big festival or a carnival kind of thing?
No, it's just concert, big stage, and food trucks, and everybody just kind of chilling. And they did a really smart thing too. They said everybody bring up your own pop-ups, so they had like a whole grassy area for standing room, and then people just put their pop-ups for the shade around the side.
Oh, that's great.
Which was good for the rain earlier in the day, and then the sun later.
Yeah.
Tons of fun.
Nice.
Teenage Dirtbags, we played a solid hour at Rock Block, and I sweat my butt off and had a great time. It was super fun. Hopefully we get invited back.
Yeah.
Is that an annual thing?
I'm sure it is. Last year they had Alien Ant Farm and and another band. They always get a couple
great.
couple big
I
headliners.
mean, that
and
name
then
is so rad too.
Rotten Apple Fest.
The people over there have to love it because, like, that's a long drive to get to St. Louis for a show. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when we have our festivals up here, those people come in town, but to be able to take it to actually those small communities, that's excellent.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people from kind of, the Missouri side, but, down south. Perryville and some other people came over from over there. A lot of people from Sparta or Belleville or Redbud.
Pickneyville, probably.
Yeah, met a couple people from there, actually. It was...
Did you meet my cousin?
I may have met your cousin.
He was very excited that he was going to get to meet you and work with you.
Oh, I did. Yeah. You talking about Trey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I met Trey. It was good. It was a good time, man. People just enjoying music, having a good time. And we had something funny happen. Like the band that played right before us was also playing some 90s stuff. And like their second song, I was like, well, like we looked at each other like, well, that's the same song we're playing on this. Our second song. Well, shoot.
Dang.
Let's throw an audible here. And then the next song was another song. We're like, oh no, goodness gracious. We should probably be sharing set lists with some folks. But it was super fun. And like I said,
that's hilarious.
The crowd was great. Speaking of hilarious, and I mentioned a helicopter earlier because I read this morning. There's a dude. He's doing one of those Fox 11 helicopters. He's a reporter, right? And he's in the helicopter. Now, thank goodness he's not the pilot, okay? So he's just in the passenger seat, if you will. And they were doing, covering the No Kings protests that were happening, right? All over L.A. And this went viral, not because of what they were covering, but because this guy just wasn't having the greatest day. Now, I want you to listen to this and tell me what scenario you think may be happening, okay? Here's the audio.
You know what? I don't care. I am married. I am legally married. That's about the only way you can really say it. But I am not looking at now at all. I just had a bunch of debacles with my personal life. Yes, it's true. I know. It's hard to believe. I got nothing right now. Got nothing. Not really looking. Trying to find myself and be happy. I'm being serious about that. I want to be beholden to no one at this moment. Do I get lonely? Of course. But I got cats.
What are we talking about?
I got cats.
He's talking about his bad marriage or what?
If I close my eyes, it kind of sounds like Donald.
You know what? I don't care. I am married. I am legally married. That's about the only way you can really say it.
Yeah. He's got a pacing and a repetitive nature that is kind of an impression.
I'm not looking at now.
This is my favorite part.
To no one at this moment. Do I get lonely? Of course. But I got cats.
Of course. So
I think the president should have a cat.
So a lot of people this is going all over the place. And a lot of people are like, oh, it must be a hot mic. He must be talking to somebody in his headphones.
That's what I thought. He knew he was broadcasting?
Or he's talking to himself because he's like one of these people that like talks to themselves when they're in the car.
Yeah, it's like the Jinx.
So talking to himself.
Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
Hot mic. Right. Hot mic scenario. What do you think is happening with this?
I thought it was a hot mic just talking to the pilot, having a good time. They're connecting.
Or is he FaceTiming his therapist while he's driving this or steering this helicopter?
Turns out this dude was on the news YouTube live stream, and he started talking about all this stuff in his personal life, his bunch of debacles, how he's trying to find himself, how he gets lonely, but he has cats. Now, turns out, no, he knew. And he was actually responding to the chat. He must have been up there so long. He was just talking to the chat.
Wow.
He was like, screw it, I'm just going to go for it. People started asking, hey, man, are you drunk? Are you doing okay? And this is what he said. I do love the bourbon. I love the whiskey. Love the bourbon. Love the gin. Now, to be clear, no one actually thought he was drunk after they started like tuning in and like watching the guy. There was no other signs that he was drunk other than they thought that he was on a hot mic.
Yeah.
He was also not the one flying. Everyone wants to make sure that that's known. He was not flying. He was not drinking.
I should just push the stick down, honestly.
Oh, man.
I'm just going to push it down and end it all.
No.
Thanks a lot, Helen. Thanks a lot, Helen. It would have been funny if he like leaned into it that way.
Push the stick down. Push the stick down.
Not into people.
You know what? I don't care. I am married.
I don't
am
care.
married. I love that he's having this vulnerable moment up there.
I kind of, yeah. I mean, I know exactly how this man feels.
I kind of respect it, but this is how like a lot of these live streams happen. Like a chat starts talking. Like we have a chat. We have a live chat.
Yeah.
I'm not in it, but some of you guys are, and some of you guys, you're
it's its own podcast sometimes.
It
like
is.
People,
they got their own show.
It's an ecosystem.
Yeah, that's their podcast.
You know, it's funny though. I mean, have you ever you've done Instagram Live and stuff where you're just talking to people and answering questions?
Yeah. What's
I
up,
love
chat?
doing that.
Hey, chat.
Yeah.
So he was just saying, hey, chat, and telling everybody
That's awesome.
About his issues.
Oh, I'm glad he's got cats.
If it takes, you know what, man to be vulnerable, up in the air, away from everybody, just in the privacy of his own helicopter, watching the world fall apart, you know what? I think that's great.
I'm kind of proud of him.
I am too.
I'm kind of proud of him.
Let it out,
He's
pal.
being emotional.
What happens in the news chopper stays in the news chopper.
Now, I also read this, speaking of men being emotional. They're saying that, most men don't get super emotional, and they usually are referencing their dad when they're asked, like, do you have any guys that aren't very emotional in your life? And 49% of people say that their dad would describe themselves as not good at emotional stuff. And women were more likely to receive an I love you from dad than men. But many dads just have their own subtle, heartfelt ways of expressing their feelings, and it's being called dad speak. Does anybody have any examples of what may be dad speak, where it doesn't sound emotional, but you can see it being there?
No, I'm lucky. My dad was a very sensitive guy, very good with his words at the time. And my stepdad is like one of the most emotional, in tune, vulnerable people that I got. So I understand. Like, I was listening to, oh my goodness, Mark Maron's podcast. He had, oh God, who did he have on this week? He had Mike Birbiglia on, and they were talking about Mike Birbiglia's new special that just came out. And he's talking about how his dad used to, have like a rage problem. And Mark Maron was talking about how his dad had a rage problem and how dad's like, I need to find my keys. And it just like changes the entire air of the house, because when dad rages out, everybody has to kind of facilitate that.
Yeah.
And I can identify with that too, because you have an over emotional father. It can be the best and it can also be the worst. You know what I mean? Like when they like lose their minds.
Sure.
So maybe that's like a form of dad speak too. Like,
have you seen the Birbiglia special?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
It is outstanding. The whole thing is about this, where he's like, I remember my dad, like he broke something. He was in the hospital for something. And his dad is a doctor. And he's like, but he never doctored me. So he's like, I never saw him as a doctor. Like, he was taking care of all these other people, but he never really. But something happened, and he was.
His dad's a neurosurgeon.
His dad's like a legit. And then he was like, I remember my dad coming in and like, when I was in the hospital and like bossing people around, be like, you take care of him, and he's like rubbing my shoulder. He's like, he didn't say anything. He just kind of rubbed my shoulder for like 15 minutes, and he's like, but that was him saying. That was his dad speak of him saying, like,
I'm here. I got you.
I'm here and I love you. And then he said, his dad had a stroke, and that's kind of the whole narrative of the thing, is like when he went to the hospital and his dad couldn't talk. Mm-hmm. He was talking with his eyes, and he's like, I just rubbed his shoulder.
Yeah,
and I could see in his eyes that it relaxed him, and he understood the gesture. And like,
yeah, it's interesting.
It's a great special.
And the older you get as a son, especially, you start to recognize that stuff in yourself or in your dad, and like, for sure, my dad's like Mr. Stoic, not an I love you guy. I think I've hugged him maybe 3 times in my life since childhood.
Once was an accident.
Yeah.
Because you were
falling and he caught you, and he's like, this doesn't count.
Yeah.
You don't have to say that it doesn't count, Dad.
Old school dude. They say to demonstrate dad speak, there's a list of the top ways dads show affection. And yeah, I mean, I think all of these count, and I think like teenagers don't understand it, and you don't really understand it until you're in your 20s or your 30s, and you start going, "Oh yeah, that time he rubbed my shoulder that one time in the hospital, that meant a lot to him. It was a big thing." Number 10, they say, is just forwarding you useful links or news. Number 9 is making a hot drink or a cold one, I guess, for you. Number 8 was helping you move. That's a big one.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's the worst thing ever. Number 7 is helping with your kids or your pets. That's a big one. Number 6 is offering to lend you tools or equipment. That's something that makes them proud, I'm sure. Number 5 is driving you places. Yeah. Number 4 is fixing things around the house. Number 3 is teaching you how to do something practical. Number 2 is paying for a meal. And number 1 is just being there when you need them, even without saying much.
Yeah.
Those are all big signs of love and support, like a thumbs up from their dad. The thumbs up is the classic.
Number
dad.
3 is the only
proud of you.
Male love language in my family. Is
teaching you how to do something practical?
Yeah, that's it. That, if you wanted love, that's where you had to go find it. My grandpa, like, teaching me to use his riding lawnmower and I could tell it was hard for him to like let anyone else be on it. And I ran over 2 saplings immediately that he had just planted, and I could just tell. I mean, I was very young.
What a disappointment you are.
Yeah, and he's just like, I could just tell under his breath, he's like, God damn it.
That's exactly why I didn't want this to happen.
Exactly why I didn't want you on it. And then it became, because I ran over his saplings, now I owed him a summer's worth of mowing his lawn to pay him back, which was his way of like teaching me to do it, but also making me feel like I was in his I don't know, in his servitude, I guess.
My dad taught me how to cut the grass, but other than that, there's a couple things. Remember, I moved out when I was 17, and I remember calling, in my late 20s or something, when I had something going wrong with the house, and I would have to call him. I would call him expecting some sort of like practical lesson, or like, hey, how do I do this? How do I fix this? And my dad is he'll tell you a lot about things, like he knows a lot about a lot, but he has never really done a lot of that stuff. So when you get to something that you just need like real information, I would get to him and go, I need to fix this air conditioner or something. And he'd go, son, I'm not an air conditioning professional. That's why I pay air conditioning professionals to do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know better than they do.
Right.
I pay the experts. It was like, what are you thinking? You're not going to be able to fix this. And I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. I was just looking for the basics.
That's hilarious.
So like the things that he knew, he would expect me to kind of know, and he would try to teach me those things. But the rest of them, what he taught me was like, he's like, you're never going to know better than they are. Right. They're the professionals.
That's a rarity, though, because I feel like most dads will take matters into their own hands and never call the professional. Like, that's my stepdad to a T. Like, he will fix it all. And it drives my mother crazy because sometimes you do need to call in the professionals.
Yeah, right.
You know? But he just can't bring himself to do that.
And the deeper you go down the self-fix, the less you want to call a professional, because now it's really...
Yeah, now it's pride.
If you do it at the beginning, then you look reasonable and smart. But if you're 8 holes in the drywall and you're trying to find the main electrical cable and you've drilled all these holes in the wall, now you're in it. Now you want to prove that you're right.
Yeah, you're too deep there.
And it's a lot of dads and grandpas don't want you to know either. Like, I remember vividly, I think it was like 7th or 8th grade basketball. We decided to get team shoes, right? The team decided to get matching shoes. This was like peak Air Jordan era. We didn't even get that. It was too poor of a school to go that high. But it was these
British Knights.
It was Cons.
Oh,
Converse Cons.
Okay, I thought you were getting LA gear or something.
No, but they were, they were like school colors, and you had to order them. And I think they were probably like $100. And my dad would not do it. I was the only kid on the team.
He refused.
I was playing in like Walmart shoes, and everybody else had Cons.
You had the Shaq shoes.
And my grandpa was pissed at my dad because he's like, should have bought him the shoes. So he went out and bought them. So I got because I was like the poor kid in a poor town. It reminded me that This Boy's Life when Leonardo DiCaprio's out there playing in like dress shoes because my dad just was not going to do it. It's just how he was. But my grandpa he didn't do it, and then he reminded me that I owed him for these shoes until the day he died.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That was his favorite thing to do. He was like, well, I did buy you those shoes. You said you were going to mow my lawn all summer, and then you only showed up about half the summer, so I figure you're still into me for at least 50 plus the interest.
Oh, there's something about that.
And it was just like his way of like not taking too much credit. But
also,
I
think
I didn't realize at the time. I was like, man, you're a cheap. He's always keeping track and running interest in his head if you owed him money, but he would always give it to you.
Do you think it's also he's afraid that you won't come around if he doesn't have kind of put that pressure on you to show up? And
I think it was just his way of joking, like
to be silly.
In hindsight, it was his way of
having something to us.
That was his way of saying I love you. Like, remember that time I showed you I loved you?
Right.
Yeah.
But he couldn't just say it. He couldn't just say like I love you.
Oh yeah, we had an uncle that gave Scott a job, and I think you didn't go one time or something like that. And I remember hearing about that for a decade.
Oh yeah. If I called in sick or anything, he would. Or if
he's still talking about it.
It was something like I went to prom or something. He's like, you didn't work on that.
Yeah. There's something about men and their teenage sons. Like, you were probably right at that exact age where he started expecting something back from you. So there's like a memory association.
My grandpa?
No, I'm just saying, like, when you were that age, that the shoe thing happened at right the same age.
Yeah,
I think
that was like tweens. That was probably like 12.
It's starting to happen with my son. My son is 15, and there's a couple things that happen, and then I'm like, I'm never going to forget this. I know it.
I tell you what, dude, I didn't show it, but I was like so pumped and proud that I got to like lace up these blue and gold and like just match with all my friends.
How cool is that?
Find a picture of those shoes.
So they're called
Converse Cons. Probably would have been 90, man.
Are they kind of like
92?
Is that it?
No, but
Those
they
are
were
ugly as sin, dude.
Look up basketball shoes.
Okay.
They were specifically for basketball. Like they were like you ordered them out of the school had like the catalog.
Yeah. You guys doing any roller coasters or any things the rest of the summer? Any Six Flags, any Holiday Worlds, any of that stuff? You guys into that?
No. I mean, I am into it, but I usually go with like my friends when she takes her kids, and I don't think they've gone yet.
Do emotional roller coasters count?
Yes.
Because I've been on one for a while now.
Yeah.
For both of them.
And I'm not peeking.
You're still going up the hill?
I'm in the part where it's like, and I've been in it for a while.
See, I'm on the Mr. Freeze going backwards. I have peaked, and now I'm going backwards through everything.
Right there, the blue.
Oh, the high tops.
Yeah, those
are
sweet.
Those are some Michael J. Fox looking shoes, dude.
Those are sick, dude.
Dude, those would be so
pretty
popular.
much, we had that color blue and gold.
Cool as heck.
That would be so popular right now. See if those are...
They're sick, dude.
Yeah, they're still...
Get those. Those are on eBay, though. Those are...
I would wear those today.
Go to them. I'm gonna buy those right now.
They had the two... That's the exact shoes, in fact. They had like the two lace holes at the top.
You got a birthday coming up, don't you, Rafe?
Where'd they go?
Yeah, September 30th. He's a Libra.
Yeah, there's one coming up. Right there, dude. Go back. Where it said cons on the side.
Right here?
Yeah,
look, those were sick back in the day, dude.
$460.
Get it right now. You said you're going to get it right now. Get it.
Never
gold,
mind.
$459.
We should all just buy the stuff that we never got as children.
I'm so glad my grandpa has passed, because if he found out the shoes that he bought me are worth $459 today,
yeah,
he'd like, you actually owe me $1,000 if we total it all up.
Honestly, adjusting for inflation, $100 shoes back in '92 or whatever the heck it was.
Yeah,
that was big.
I think it was like $80 if I remember. I actually remember the price. It was $84.
Dude, Nintendo was $100.
Because I remember being like, you can't. $84, and I'm like, to a kid, that's a lot of money. But I was like,
that's a ton of money back then.
Oh, dude, I was like,
I remember my mom.
I had like, if they'd had PowerPoint back then, I had like a whole presentation. Because like, I asked my grandpa, and he was just like, well, I brought it up, and then I didn't get them, and he didn't think. But then he went to a game, and he saw that I was the only one that didn't have them, and it pissed him off.
Yeah, I remember that too. That. We were the lower middle class kind of family, and I finally got into a good basketball league, like an AU league, and my mom was like, I have to get you something appropriate for this, because it's like you're actually doing something good. And she bought me some new Air Force, like some kind of Nike thing. I don't know which player it was, but I remember they were like $105 or something, and I'm like, are you sure this is... I can go to get the cheap one, Mom. This is so crazy. Because I think before that, the expensive shoe was like $50, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So it was a game changer.
Joking around, but I'm pretty sure I had Jordache. I think that's what I had, like the Walmart low-top Jordache. Like they did not even close... They didn't even... remotely look like everyone else's shoes.
You gotta wear those with your stonewashed.
They weren't like
boys.
penny loafers. I wasn't completely. I didn't live an Oliver Twist life, but it was not good.
The Spalding pumps, those were.
It could have been Spalding. Could have been. They had Ruse knockoffs called Pack Rats.
What?
Where you put your lunch money in the side, and I'm
like,
you didn't have to name them after a rat, dude.
Pack Rats.
You could have picked a possum or some other marsupial.
I think possum would have been worse. I don't know.
Oh, that's
probably.
awesome.
I just remember my mom complaining about buying $30 stride rights or whatever the heck those were.
Could have been those.
They were knockoff Keds, basically. Speaking of Mama Moon, I will. I'll tell her and the rest of you adrenaline junkies what to look out for if you're going to do roller coasters later this summer. What we'll do after this. All right, and the Team Rizz member of the day is brought to you by Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill, the official bar of the Rizzuto Show and home to St. Louis sports fans since 1990. Today's Team Rizz member is Elijah Cruson. From Villa Ridge, Missouri. Elijah is the corn cob pipe man. Like King Scott, he smokes corn cob pipes and listens to the Rizzuto Show before starting his evening shift.
Wow.
The Rizzuto Show has been the best. This is the best lineup of presenters in the business. His heart will always be with Burton, but the new lineup is gold. Love all the boys and girls on air who give it their all. Is a living cousin to Frank and Jesse James.
How cool is that?
No,
Outlaw.
Elijah does not know where the treasure is buried.
He
Wants
does
to be
too.
very
He told me
clear.
on the phone. he was
Exactly
just
what I'd
joking.
say if I knew.
Yeah.
Elijah
He knows.
Cruson, the Team Rizz member of the day. Make sure you sign up 1057thepoint.com/Team Rizz. Okay, Lern, what you got?
Well, Cher and Greg Allman's son, Elijah, has been hospitalized, so we'll talk about him. Are Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom over? Why is everybody mad at Paris Jackson? And because of Pixar movies coming out, I'm going to give you the official Rotten Tomatoes list of the best Pixar movies according to their ratings.
Cool, we got that. We got Steve Ewing is going to be on the show as well later, talking about the big event that they have coming up to help with tornado relief. And so much more after the break. Rizz will be back tomorrow. He's just taking the day off because he had a late night as Grand Marshal for the big Bommarito 500 yesterday. So super cool. But we're pressing on. We're having a great show today. Got a lot of tickets to give out. Puddle of Mud, Social Distortion, Incubus, Manchester Orchestra, and Cake tickets all to give out later. We'll do 3 and 5, a classic game of 3 and 5. Steve Ewing is also going to join us to tell us about this big event that he has coming up to help raise money for St. Louisans affected by the tornado. You can always give us a call, 314-624-3833. That's 314-624-NA-DUDE, or, the Mick Ultra Studio cams are also live on the Points YouTube channel, and you can always text us at 649-DUMB. That's 314-649-3862. I mentioned Mama Moon earlier, and we all know. Mama Moon? Yeah, I know.
What does she think about that?
She doesn't
she
like
love it. I bet she hates it.
She hates it. Ma.
Gosh.
As you hear that and picture whatever it is that you picture, I only picture the truth, which is that was from when we put the VR on her and put her on a virtual reality roller coaster.
That's great.
Because she is a roller coaster. She's an adrenaline junkie, and
Yeah.
she's a screamer. Okay, she screams. It used to embarrass me when I was a kid on the Screaming Eagle or whatever ride we were doing. Her screaming used to embarrass me. Now it's fun to see her post 80s still doing those water coasters and all that.
Rad.
Yeah.
And she is going this week, I believe, down to Holiday World.
Oh, dang.
Just by herself, or she taking
Thanks for the
children with
invite.
her?
Now it's her and her sister.
All right, that's great.
They're crazy people, and they're best buds, and they're adrenaline junkies together.
That's the biggest wooden coaster, isn't it? The Raven.
I think you're right.
I was talking about that with the girl yesterday. Rizz's daughter's a roller coaster aficionado, and she's never been. She was giving me the Disney World recap, and she said she's never been to Holiday World. And I go, biggest wooden coaster, dude, the Raven. That's their big claim to fame.
Claim to fame. It's a great one. They also have the water park, and they have water coasters. And my mother loves water coasters.
Nice.
She's a swimmer, she's a fish, and she's a roller coaster enthusiast. So it blends best of both worlds for her. You guys ever been to Kings Island in southwestern Ohio? I've been multiple times with Mama Moon. It's
That's the huge.
an incredible park.
Yeah.
Incredible. Well, they are dealing with masses, and I'm talking masses of cicadas right now.
Oh, yeah.
Which have made their way to the surface for the next over the last week, and
No
they're about
Kings
to.
Island.
I didn't know they
they're
like
about to get
theme
worse.
parks.
Oh, they're about to get worse because they are taking to the air everywhere in swarms so dense that people are being warned to make sure you don't open your mouth on this roller coaster.
Yeah, man.
There are signs saying keep your mouth sealed shut while riding on these coasters at Kings Island, or you might get a mouthful. And I'm talking mouthful.
So you got to wear sunglasses or some kind of protective eyewear.
There are swarms, and people are now posting videos of the cicadas at the park on TikTok, and others proudly sharing ride photos of some people in their group with their mouths filled with cicadas or firmly shut.
Dude, you hear about that billionaire that's friends with Prince William who died because he swallowed a bee this weekend?
No.
What?
Yes, billionaire Sunjay Kapar. I'm probably
A
mispronouncing his name.
billionaire.
And I guess he obviously was allergic to bees, but freaking swallowed one and died.
Oh, no.
That's wild. So, like, what if you choke on a cicada as you're riding high?
That's exactly
That's what it could sound like.
So, Mom, keep your mouth shut.
No screaming.
I've never heard her doubled up like that.
I like that.
All right.
That was one thing that I didn't know on the race yesterday, speaking of bugs. When they pit, they've got like peel away windshields with like plastic. They got like several layers of like clear. So when they hit all the bugs on the track, when they pit and get new tires, there's a guy, his whole job is just to peel the windshield off, peel a layer off so it's
have
like clear
windshields?
again.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I mean, they got that little like.
Oh, it's just like a little, almost like a bike cop.
Yeah.
Just a little slap of glass.
And that hits so many bugs going around the track that's like.
Oh, man.
So then when they pit,
I'd imagine somebody has to squeegee their
they thought of everything.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But no. They got little thin plastic things. They just peel one layer off and go.
Well, today is Monday, June 16th, and back in the day, 167 years ago, 1858, Senate candidate Abe Lincoln told a Springfield, Illinois crowd that slavery was an issue that had to be resolved, declaring, quote, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." 122 years ago, 1903, one of the biggest days in U.S. business history, the Ford Motor Company was incorporated. 66 years ago, 1959, TV Superman George Reeves found shot to death in his home, and no one can still agree on whether he killed himself or was murdered. 58 years ago, 1967, the first ever major rock festival, the Monterey International Pop Festival, opened in California. It launched the careers of Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, was organized by John Phillips of the Mamas and Papas. Tickets were $3.50 to $6.50, and about 50,000 people showed up. 53 years ago, 1972, David Bowie released his fifth album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. It was a concept album that included Suffrage City and, of course, Ziggy Stardust. 47 years ago, 1978, Grease, starring John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, opened in U.S. theaters. It was like High School Musical, but with fewer minorities. 31 years ago, 1994, the bass player in Courtney Love's Hole, Kristen Pfaff, was found dead in her bathtub surrounded by drug paraphernalia.
Dang.
She died of an apparent heroin overdose. 26 years ago, in 1999, Phil Collins received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. 25 years ago, 2000, Shaft was released, starring Samuel L. Jackson. It was a sequel to the 1991 original and featured OG Shaft star Richard Roundtree as his uncle, though they later changed that to father and son in the 2019 Shaft. 15 years ago, 2010, BP agreed to set up a $20 billion fund for those who are affected by the Deepwater Horizon oil spill of the Gulf of Mexico. And 2 years ago, in 2023, the controversial Flash was released, starring Ezra Miller as the Flash and featuring the return of Michael Keaton as an alternate universe Batman. Spoiler alert. And that is what happened back in the day, June 16th. All right, Lern, teach us.
Here we go. So, Cher's 48-year-old son, Elijah Blue Allman, who's also the late Greg Allman's son, has been hospitalized. He was suffering from a drug overdose. He was at Joshua Tree in California, and he's reportedly still in the hospital receiving the best care possible. They reported yesterday, and he's actually lucky to have survived. Now, it's unclear what drugs Elijah had in him at the time of hospitalization, but Cher's only concern right now is for her son's well-being, and she's doing everything she can as his mom to help his needs. Now, back in the day, she tried to get a conservatorship on him, like in 2024, because she said that he was, unable to manage his own financial resources. He had some mental health issues, substance abuse issues, and obviously still that's ongoing. He is currently going through a divorce with his estranged wife. So he's got a lot going on, but I hate this for him, hate this for the Allman family. And I actually love, do you remember Dead Z? Remember Elijah Blue's band Dead Z from like early 2000, like 2005?
Yeah.
So I have a song here pulled up. It was maybe their most well-known song. They also did like a cover of Rolling Stone's "Paint It Black" back in the day.
We did a show with them at Chester's place. What band were they associated with? They were associated with another band, right?
Like I always thought of them with like Orgy. Like Orgy and Dead Z were kind of cut of the same cloth.
Yeah, I feel like there was something.
I got the key to Hamilton Park.
That's enough of that.
Okay.
I remember that song. remember the video. They're wearing all blue or something,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it's like a bright white background, I think. And
Weren't
they were
they-
cool. They were like a goth techno band.
But they were like colorful goth. It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we played with them at.
I bet you did,
yeah,
man.
I do
Chester's
remember that.
tattoo place. Remember we did like a
Yes.
it was us and
Yes.
and Mike.
Honestly, story of the year, Dead Z, all. I feel like it all happened at the same time. So you probably were on mini festivals with them at that
Yeah,
time.
I remember
Well,
seeing them a few times.
Chester for a while there owned a couple tattoo places called Club Tattoo, and the first one that he opened down in Tempe, we did a show. It was us and Mike Shinoda, and Mike Shinoda had just done Fort Minor, and it was like a private party behind the thing, and I'm pretty sure Deadsy played. Because they were friends with Chester. Maybe that was my association. I don't know. I always thought they were associated with another band, like Korn, like it was somebody's brother was in this band or something.
Well, it was because it was Cher's son. Cher's son and Greg Allman's son
I'm
is
sorry.
Elijah Blue.
I missed you saying
That's
that.
okay.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, that was like I couldn't remember like back in the day whenever they came out. I loved Desi, and then you found out it's Cher's son with Greg Allman, and you're like, holy crow! Because I guess he picked up more of his mom's kind of style of music rather than his dad's with the Allman Brothers. But yeah, I hope Elijah gets well, and I
me
hate that he
too.
was overdosing in
me too.
Joshua Tree.
Come on, buddy.
There's been rumors about Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom breakup for weeks, and now People Magazine is on the verge of calling it. So a so-called source says that they're pretty much done, and they've been breaking down the last couple of months. I don't think her going to space was good for them. Obviously, the blowback that she's received from all of that, being an astronaut, I don't think that really helped. But
Wonder if the thing
Keep
of
it on
her
the outs.
didn't she call out a fan for like texting him or something?
oh yeah, I don't know.
She was on stage and she's like, "I know you. Stop texting my husband. Stop messaging my husband." And I
Oh.
think I wonder if that contributed to it. On a side note, Scott and I watched the new Deep Cover on Amazon with Orlando Bloom. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty solid.
He was
movie.
great in it.
Fun watch.
What is that?
It's like three improvisers get hired to go undercover. So it's like these comedians who can't get hired in LA and they're just doing like improv in the theater. And it's got the guy Nate from Ted Lasso and Jessica Chastain in it. And they go undercover and get into a hole.
And it's loaded with cameos and stuff, but it's really funny. And I mean,
This is
it's
a
a
movie?
solid.
It's a solid,
Yeah, if you need
easy
a
family
easy
watch.
going, family watch. You need
But Orlando Bloom plays a serious actor who can't. He's only been hired to play the pizza night in commercials, and he wants to be. So he when in improv, you're not supposed to come in with anything. It's supposed to be, but he refuses, and he comes in with a full backstory for all his characters, and it's way over the top. But his character's really good at it. But I digress.
All right. Well, good for
Check it
him. Paris Jackson will be in town opening up for Manchester Orchestra, who will be opening up for Incubus July 3rd at Chaffetz Arena. And people are complaining about Paris having a gig on the 16th anniversary of her dad, Michael Jackson's passing, when she is opening up for these two bands. And she responded on her Instagram story that it's not her tour, so it's not her call. She added a special note saying, go F yourself.
Wait a second. Wait. Did you say people are upset?
Yeah,
that
people are
Paris
upset.
Jackson is playing a show on the anniversary of her father's death?
That's right.
Fake.
Huh?
Fake news.
I mean,
No.
I can't even understand.
That's
what,
planted.
What do you want her to be doing? Do you want her to just be at home crying?
No one
what
would
do you
object.
want?
No one would even put these things together enough to care.
they would.
You think so?
People are stupid.
I think this is
a public- I think
this is a
I've never
publicist
been more
saying-
sure.
No way. No way. This is if I'm her publicist, I'm like, well, how do I get you in the news?
Go
'Cause
on.
You're not in the
You've
news
been
for
off the
anything
internet
else.
too long. We got to get you back on the internet.
I don't want to get
the
back on the
internet is
internet.
full of people that are pieces of crap.
No, the internet is
They have-
filled with people that are being paid to be pieces of crap so that you can get promotion like this. It's about press, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know. You sound like you're saying like George Soros is paying all these people. I really do think it's just people being idiots, and they have
What?
nothing else to worry about.
That's it.
So they're on Paris Jackson going, you should be more honorable to your father. Like, let the girl do whatever the hell she wants to do. Like, my dad's death anniversary is July 10th. You know what I don't want to be doing on July 10th? Literally sitting around thinking about it. I want to be doing literally anything else. So let her do her thing. And also, she doesn't get to map out the damn tour. Brandon Boyd of Incubus does. Okay. So anyway, I can't wait to see her when she's here at Chaffetz because I'm interested in what her whole set list looks like and how that goes.
Well, to that point, and you know that I'm not, holiday guy or this or that. Like, if you,
You're Mr. Holiday.
yes, and
right.
if you listen to the lyrics of the song, like, that's basically what I'm saying. It's like,
I thought Mal
Mr.
turned you into Mr.
She
Holiday.
did for Christmas, for goodness
Okay.
sake, but not for every anniversary. If you start reserving some sanctity for everything that happens and every day, It's gonna be a year where you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
At some point, we're all gonna reach the age where every day has some sort of significance, and you just can't live like that.
That's why I'm not
Am I
here
crazy?
tomorrow because that was the day. Remember last year I started celebrating holidays.
Oh.
So I'm off tomorrow to celebrate a
Well,
holiday.
don't you think also, like, maybe she would actually pay homage to her father on that
Right.
day?
I mean, playing a show seems to be the likely thing to do.
Maybe she'll
and
moonwalk.
here's my thing. Why would you get to decide how someone else lives their goddamn life?
Yeah, deals
Right.
with that.
You don't. And everyone thinks they do. They turn everyone into characters that they watch on a screen, and they dehumanize everyone, and it's stupid. It's just dumb internet stuff. Who cares?
I don't
You
care.
have and the thing
But
is,
you buy it, you
and
think
the
people
sad
are
thing
really
is
upset
they
with
have no interest in her life any other day.
Right.
They don't care if she's doing okay. They don't care if that she grew up without a dad. It's just like this weird false outrage. It's just something to distract you from your own crappy life.
Yeah.
Look inward.
Get tickets.
Leave her alone.
She might do, like, one of her dad's hits. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool to
What
witness.
does she do?
I don't know. That's why I'm so interested to see her. I've not looked into her
Grimacy
music.
Park.
I haven't looked into anything she does. I'm just interested in showing up.
But you're talking about her.
I am talking about, yeah.
See, I
They
think
got you, man.
That's your contrarian ass, man. Your contrarian ass.
Publicist is doing a good job.
Turnstile has been everywhere in the news. They're killing it right now. And the bassist in Turnstile, Franz Lyons, he is a fashion model now. He is going to be in the new Guess Jeans ad campaign. And he says, when they asked me to do it, I was like, it was a super holy crap moment. So congratulations to him. Roger Daltrey of The Who has been honored with knighthood from King Charles III.
Whoa.
So now he
Wowie,
is Sir
wowie.
Roger. Along with David Beckham over the weekend, I saw, which is
Wow.
excellent.
Whoa.
Daltrey says, it's kind of weird. This honor is really for all of the unsung heroes. It's a dream come true for me, but it's especially a dream because the charity means so much. And he's talking about the Teenage Cancer Trust that The Who's been a part of for decades, which is excellent. In TV news, the final trailer for the upcoming third season of Squid Game has been released. And so the synopsis is the third and final season follows one of the characters after losing his best friend in the game, being driven to utter despair by the front man who was hiding his true identity to infiltrate the game. So this will debut on June 27th on Netflix.
Scott, make sure you make a note
Yes.
that Roger Daltrey now has to be referred to as Sir Roger Daltrey.
Yes.
He got full Sird, right?
All right.
This isn't one of those half-ass Sirds.
No,
right?
this is
Like
a full
they did for
Sird.
Harrison.
Look.
No, this is full
Remember
Sir.
when he got knighted or something, and it was like a thank you
Because he wasn't a citizen?
No, they gave like it was like
You said Harrison, like Harrison Ford?
No,
George Harrison?
George Harrison. When I swear I read some story where when they knighted Sir Paul, they like gave him like a consolation knight. There's like a tier
Lord.
to the knighting. I thought you would know
really?
about this. Aren't you a
I don't-
Beatles aficionado?
I'm not a Beatles
It's like
aficionado.
a good
no.
night.
I'm
Look
also
that
not
up.
a royal family
Look that up.
aficionado.
It was something. It was something. It was either George Harrison or they kind of half-assed a knighthood to somebody, and they denied it or declined it, or what do you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so what am I exactly looking up here? The rankings of knights?
Yeah, see if George Harrison is a knight.
Okay.
Yeah, just Beatles knighthood. Do that.
Because you don't ever call him Sir George.
No. I
That
think,
is strange.
Elton
and I-
John is.
Yeah, Sir Elton John,
Sir Elton, right.
Sir Ian McKellen, Sir Paul.
I would love, I've said this before, I would love for knights of yesteryear to just get transported to modern day times to be up for like 20 minutes. Like, I fought in the Crusades. I had my arm lopped off by one of the Moors for the good of God and country.
Wasn't Sean Connery?
Who are today's modern day
Yeah,
knights? And it's like, and he's singing Crocodile Rock in the background. He's like, who the hell is this guy?
What, is it
Ringo.
because George is dead?
So Ringo got knighted in 17. McCartney got in 97.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And that's it.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, something happened.
Interesting.
Did George turn it down?
Okay, so OBE, go down and say that he turned down for George. It's possible he would have never gotten the offer. In 2000, he turned down OBE from the Queen because it was believed he considered it to be a snub, given Paul's knighthood a few years earlier.
What's OBE mean?
It's the Order of the British Empire.
It's a half-ass. It's a consolation knighthood.
That's odd.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to tell you, man. It's a
know
big
that.
deal over there.
Dang.
That's wild.
Nobody wants
What-
a silver medal.
If you're going to battle, wouldn't you be so intimidated to see this knight roll up?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Paul McCartney.
I'm here.
Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. These guys were like fighting in chainmail. I took a mace to the head.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Yeah, I think I would be worse off seeing Ringo coming at me. As a
There he
knight.
is. There he is.
He's holding the knighthood.
I
Peace
am
and love.
Mr. Conductor
Just throwing drumsticks.
for the good of Shining Time Station.
Yeah. Ariel Winter was in Modern Family, and she's got a new gig, guys. She's helping to catch perverts. The actress dressed up as a 12-year-old girl went online for a YouTube docuseries called SOSA Undercover. SOSA stands for Safe from Online Sex Abuse. She's 27 now, and she really did look the part as a 12-year-old girl. Here's some audio from the show when she's beginning to talk to this pervert. Ariel Winter.
Here it is.
Here it is.
Hi.
All right. What you doing?
Not much.
I'm not good at small talk either.
Yeah, me either.
Come on, you're the girl. You're supposed to be good at these things. Comes your mom, get off.
Not till late.
A 40-year-old is not talking for any reason other than to exploit them. And he said before, he's like, oh, well, you know, we'll get married and then like get it annulled. So there's like a romantic and like weird undertone, even if he hasn't like explicitly said anything we can arrest him for yet.
Pretty creepy. She says, I'm familiar with male predators because I've worked in Hollywood at such a young age. I started at 4. And she says, the experiences I've had in person and online as a child affected me so deeply that I had to go to therapy for it. She goes, the movie and TV industry is a dark place. And so she's trying to take back that experience by actually helping out to catch some of these predators online. And so you can check that out again. It's SOSA Undercover. How to Train Your Dragon earned $83 million in its first weekend of release. Wow. The live-action remake of the 2010 original animated adventure brought in another $114 million at the international box office for a massive debut at $198 million this weekend. So congratulations to them. The movie cost $150 million to produce and $100 million to market. So they're kind of making it back a little bit at a time. Lilo and Stitch came in second, and the Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, and Pedro Pascal's Materialist opened at number 3. Have you ever been to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios? You ever been down there for that?
No.
That's like the one thing about Disney that I would be like very interested in as an adult that I haven't gotten to do yet. So they announced their Horror Nights, and the theme parks in both Hollywood and Orlando are adding Jason from Friday the 13th as the new haunted house called the Jason Universe. So guests will be able to go on a vengeance tour throughout the summer camp to see where it all began and get up close and personal with the killer's reign of terror, creaking floor beds, Jason's ramshackled cabin, a decaying main lodge, and an eerie forest that offers no refuge
This
for his
is
victims.
Disney or Universal?
This is at Universal, but in the parks in Orlando and Hollywood.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I've never been to Universal.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we want to do. Have you been?
I've been to Universal down in Orlando.
And
it was great.
Yeah, when was this?
This was probably 97.
Oh, so well before the Harry Potter. And all
yeah.
New stuff.
So what's the difference between that and Disney World?
It's more movie based, like
Properties.
adult movies. Like I think that's where the Alfred Hitchcock stuff is. Like you can watch The Birds and you can see the Psycho house where his mom lived and all that. Kind of cool
That's
to
pretty
see
neat.
that.
All
That's
right.
that. And also, new Pixar animated film unveiled. It's called Gatto, and it's set in Venice, Italy. And there's a black cat named Nero. And so, indebted to a feline mob boss, Nero finds himself forced to forge an unexpected friendship that may finally lead him to his purpose. So, this is set for a 2027 release. And that got me thinking about, the best Pixar films that have been released. Okay. So, Rotten Tomatoes, they have their list of the best in ratings.
This is for you. This Gato.
I know it's a little cat.
Yeah.
It's a
Little
cat.
cat
Do you hear the
Pixar
main
film.
line of this? Meow.
It's gonna be pretty cute. He's got a mob boss, so he'll have a little Italian lean to it as well. But what do you think the top 10 best Pixar films are that have been released?
Toy Story.
Obviously, Toy Story.
Toy
but,
Story 3.
and they're all on here. What do you think? Which Toy Story do you think landed at number 1 with 100%?
3.
3 came in at number 5.
Whoa.
Then number 1.
Number 1 came in at number 2.
So 2?
Number 2 came in at number 1. Yes, Toy Story 2 has a 100%, as does Toy Story. Toy Story 3 has a 98 percentile on Rotten
Where's
Tomatoes.
Cars at? We
3
saw
is where
races.
they perfected it. Tarantino even said that in an interview. He goes, "It was the only trilogy. It was very. He said it's in that rare class of movies where they progressively get better as they go. He said 1 was good, 2 was better, 3 was the best.
Yeah, and he said
he won't watch any after that. And he said the good, the bad, and the ugly was the other, like the Sergio Leone movies, and he gave a couple other examples. So I'm surprised because I think Toy Story 3 was the best one.
Right. I'm a little bit biased towards Big Hero 6 because of the Greek Fire connection, and I don't think that really gets its just desserts.
It does not. It's not in the top 10.
Give me
Finding
Cars.
Nemo.
Cars is not in there. Finding Nemo is number 3 with a 99% on Rotten
Cars is not in
Tomatoes.
there. That is really spectacular.
I mean, it's on the list, but it's like way down.
Wall-E.
Wall-E, honorable mention, but not in the top 10. Up. That is number 6, 98%.
Is
Wait, are we missing a top 5?
what's
you're
the,
missing number 4.
What's the Emotions movie? Is
Inside
that
Out.
Pixar?
And
Inside
that's
Out.
number 4. Yeah, 98% with them as well. So you need 7 through 10.
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille is number 10.
Wow, dude. You're good at this.
Thank you.
What? Okay.
There's another Toy Story. Toy Story 4 is number 7 on the list.
I forgot that.
So we're missing one more?
You're missing number 8 and 9.
Is there
us the
another
years.
sequel or something?
I don't have the years, but within the last, I'd say within the last 15 years, these movies came out.
Wow, that really narrows
There's
it
an
down.
emotional one about grandmas.
An emotional.
Coco.
Coco is number 8.
Oh, that's about grandmas? I thought you were talking about what was it? Not
What about,
not Enchanted?
Soul.
Soul.
Soul was an honorable mention, but not in the top 10.
What's the Encanto?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right.
The last one-
University.
Monsters Inc. was the honorable mention, but not top 10, actually number 11. The Incredibles came in at number 9.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So-
Always gets ranked high.
Again,
The
top
biggest one, yeah.
10 Pixar films: Ratatouille, The Incredibles, Coco, Toy Story 4, Up, Toy Story 3, Inside Out, Finding Nemo, Toy Story the original, and then Toy Story 2 is the number 1 Pixar film according to Rotten Tomatoes.
They don't miss much, that's for sure.
That's right. And that is your crap on celebrities.
Your celebrity birthdays. Camilla Morrone is 28, and that's the daughter of Bruce Willis in Death Wish remake. We got Nathan Parsons, he's 37. Sybil Kikili, that's Shay on Game of Thrones, and this was important on here, evidently. She got naked at least once an episode until the 4th season finale, where she was killed. So there's that. Daniel Bruhl, who I mean, if you have not seen Inglourious Bastards, you got to watch it. This guy is absolutely amazing performer. He's in Captain America: Civil War, Falcon, and The Winter Soldier. He's 47. The husband of Leanna Rimes is 52. John Cho is 53. Clifton Collins is 55. And we got Phil Mickelson, who's a legendary golfer. He's 55. And here's the big one. MC Ren from the NWA is 56. That's right. And Aunt Jackie, Laurie Metcalf is 70.
Edwardsville's own.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
That's right.
She's awesome,
She's from
man.
Edwardsville, Illinois. Metcalf Theater at SIU is named after her.
I always think of the episode of Roseanne where Aunt Jackie's high as a kite and she's been smoking on a weed pipe for like the whole show.
And she starts singing, I'm so excited.
No, she's in the bathtub and Dan comes in and she's like, it's just me and my ganja. And I was like, oh my God, that's like a slang. I learned about ganja in like 5th grade.
Yeah.
Because of Aunt Jackie.
I've always
from her.
appreciated that show specifically was the first show where the family wasn't upper middle class.
Right.
Yeah.
And most of the actors were from the St. Louis area. John
amazing.
Goodman,
Perfect.
Laurie Metcalf, like people that could really capture that blue collar family feeling.
Oh, that's incredible. Speaking of incredible, a great driver. We saw some great driving yesterday. Al Collins is 78.
Oh my gosh.
And
That's the guy who drove OJ in the white Bronco.
Oh, that's what it was.
my.
Yes, a great driver.
Great drivers.
And finally, Eddie Levert is 83. That's the lead singer of the OJs. And that concludes your birthdays.
And today's porno birthday, which is being brought to you by Patricia's, where Fun and Fantasy meet, is Chrissy Sparks, also famous for creating an alcoholic beverage that's an energy drink.
Okay.
Little known fact about her. She is the founder of Sparks. Don't look that up. Today's birthday girl's been in 45 fine films, including Babes Illustrated 11, Bound to be Surprised, Chocolate Nips, which is a new flavor of Nips coming out this fall. The Four Finger Club 12, gross. Great Sexpectations 2, A Hard Day at the Office, Helpless in Heels, Slumber Party 14, and who could forget her role in 2001's Where the Girls Sweat 6. Chrissy Sparks is 45 years old. Graduated probably same Class of 96. Congratulations, Chrissy. That's your porno birthday. Those were your crappy birthdays. And that concludes Crap on Celebrities.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Hey, after the break, I'm going to tell you about, I'm just going to share something I came across this weekend. Somebody sent it over. It's from about a year back, but it's an Am I the A-hole? And it's one of the more fascinating ones.
Oh, boy.
It kind of stopped me in my tracks where I had to then read it again and then ask my wife to come into the to the room. And I read it to her.
Yeah.
And she even weighed in, and I'm just really curious, not only to see what this room thinks about it, but I'm really curious to see what our listeners think about it. I think we should do a poll on Twitter or on X and maybe even include the chat here because it's a good one.
Okay.
It's a real good one. So before Sexy Time Fun Facts, and we get into all that, I want to do this Am I the A-hole off of Reddit because this could go many ways.
I can't wait.
All right, we are back. It is the Rizzuto Show. Give us a call, 314-624-3833. It's 314-NA-DUDE, or watch us on the Mick Ultra Studio Cams and involve yourself in the chat over there if you wish, if you dare. Or text us, 314-649-3862. That's 649-DUMB. We are monitoring the texter, and we're definitely going to be monitoring it right now because I am going to read you a story straight off the Reddit Am I the A-hole? This one, I read it a couple times, and I was like, man, how do I feel about this? What would I do if I were in this scenario? I asked my wife, and I want to ask all of you guys in the room and the listeners. So chat, get ready. Texters, get ready. And we'll even put a little poll up there on X just to see how you feel about this. Let me read this story verbatim, okay? Am I the a-hole for being truthful and admitting that I find my wife unattractive after her surgery? My wife had plastic surgery recently. We had discussed it, and I was against it. It was not my decision, and ultimately, I had no say. She looks weird now. She had the fat sucked out of her face, lip fillers, a neck lift, other stuff I don't really get. She gives me uncanny valley vibes right now. It freaks me out. She is fully healed now, and she wants us to go back to normal, like me initiating sex. I have done so, but not as much as I used to. And when I do, I try and make sure that there is very little light. Oh, man. Time out. Yeah. We have Steve.
Perfect timing.
Yes.
Steve Ewing on the phone. Steve?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Well, you know what?
Hey.
We're doing okay. We were just in the middle of an Am I the A-hole Reddit post. So if I could, since I got you, we'll talk to you about what you got going on in a minute. But you got 5 minutes?
Yeah, sure do.
Okay, good. Because you're going to need
Are you
to weigh
at the
in on
gym,
this.
Steve? Where are you right now?
Clink, clink, clink.
I assume he always is.
I am actually in Kansas at KU. We're getting the daughter ready for college. So
nice.
That's awesome.
Man.
I mean, boo.
Yeah. Well, that's fun.
That's exciting.
What's not fun is this Am I the A-hole post. I was just in the middle of describing what this guy is saying on this thing, and we're going to run. I'll run it back just for a second. This guy, his wife had plastic surgery that he was against, but he didn't have a say. She had fat sucked out of her face, lip fillers, a neck lift, and other stuff that he didn't really get. Okay?
All right.
Now, this is what he says. He goes on and says, it's now been a few months, and I kind of dread having to look at her. Obviously, she has noticed. She has been bugging me to tell her what's up, and I've tried telling her that I'm just tired from work or that I'm run down. Really, anything except for the truth. She broke down and asked me... She broke down and asked me if I was having an affair. I said that I wasn't. She asked to look at my phone. I unlocked it for her and handed it over. I wasn't worried about anything or her finding anything because there's nothing to find. She spent an hour looking through it and found nothing. She asked me to explain why I changed. I tried explaining that I just wasn't that interested right now. Nothing I said was good enough for her. She just kept digging. So I finally told the truth. I wasn't harsh or brutally honest. I just told her that her new face wasn't something that I found attractive and that I was turned off. She asked if that's why I turned the lights off now, and I said yes.
Steve's loving it.
Wow, Steve.
What would
this is a
you
hit
do,
with Steve.
Steve?
She started crying. She started crying and said that she needed time alone. She went to stay with her sister. I've now been called every name in the book since this happened. Her sister said I'm a piece of S for insulting my wife's looks. Her friends all think I'm the a-hole. I tried not to say anything. I can't force myself to find her attractive. I still love her, but her face is just weird now.
Yeah.
She looks like the blue alien from The Fifth Element.
You know, this is my dude. This is confirming all of the stuff that freaks me out. Like, I would love to get a nose job. I've talked about it extensively, but I just can't do it because I feel like I'm going to look at my face and I'm not going to recognize who I am, and like that's why I just can't go down that road. Like so many people go down with like the Botox and the lip filler and stuff. I feel like it would freak me out, and I wonder. You know, obviously her face has changed so much, and this guy recognizes it. I commend him for being honest.
Yeah.
You know, but I also think, holy crow, like, what do you do? Like, Steve, what would you do in that situation?
Man, I don't know. I think you have to be honest. That's what you have to do.
Yes, you would. You would
There's
say
no way
like,
around it.
You'd be like, babe, your face, I just can't do it. Like it looks not like you.
So,
There's no way around it.
Rafe is shaking his head no. So you're saying you would not be honest?
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like, it's a slippery slope, man. Like, there's work I'd get done, but I don't want to be Kenny Rogers. I don't look like somebody's water skiing off the back of my head.
Right.
You never know, dude. There was a girl, honestly, that girl at the race yesterday, from behind, I was like, oh, that's an attractive woman. And she had on like a scantily clad checkered flag outfit, but she turned around.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yikes.
Because of the plastic surgery?
She had like gigantic like lips that looked like she had those wax lips on. And then her eyes were like all cockeyed because they were so tight. Looked like she just got them done.
Right.
And I was like, it was alarming. Like when she turned around, I was like, whoa.
So you would be honest. Steve said he would be honest.
It would
I
be
think
hard.
you got to just move your family to Beverly Hills, and it doesn't take long where you just start getting used to it. And
Like
you're
you acclimate.
oh, every girl's pretty here. Yeah.
I don't
That's
know
not a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be honest because I wouldn't want to hurt my betrothed, but I empathize with this guy because that is kind of, you know, if they go too far, start looking like a cat. Mm-hmm. Like, that's weird, man. Yep.
Well, 78% of the poll already at Rizz Show
Steve is loving this.
on Twitter say they would have to be honest about it.
Steve, you gonna tell? What are you doing, man?
Yeah, I have to be honest. I have to be honest. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this guy did what the majority, we'll say the average dude would have done. Like try to dance around it or hope that he gets used to it before he has to say. And then if she's going to push, he's going to be honest because he feels he has to be honest. So I feel like he kind of is doing the average guy thing. Mm-hmm. So I guess the question is, and you said you put up a poll on X, Lern, and I sent you a picture of this post, the original post. And I'd like you to also put up just the post and just put, is this guy the a-hole?
Okay.
Because let's just get a yes or no. Steve, is he an a-hole?
No, he tried. He tried really hard.
That's how he feels about it. Now, I will say, had he left out she looks like the blue alien from The Fifth Element.
That was a little much.
Yeah, I think you kind of
Just a little much.
You kind of peppered it a bit. That was a seasoning that wasn't needed.
But the thing too with this kind of stuff is just remember a lot of that starts to go down over time. So just give it a few years and it'll be kind of almost back to normal.
So
to a certain
Scott,
degree.
is he an a-hole?
No, I mean he's like he said he was honest about it, so that helps. But I think it's one of those where, I mean, you say your vow and it's like, you know, through whatever condition you're in, it's like, it's like, man, I'm in this.
He
and
didn't say he wants a divorce.
Dude,
No, I know.
I'm looking at the blue alien from Fifth Element.
Yeah.
And yeah, man.
No.
I've seen a lot of gals looking like this.
Really? I don't know the reference. Can you guys put
Oh my! It's the opera singer, dude. It's the blue alien. She's got like the dreads.
Her name is Diva Da Laguna.
To be honest, I still can't figure out.
It looks like the singer of Vita, the Russian
She
band.
kind of looks like somebody from A Never-Ending Story too.
Oh yeah, that's not a good look.
That's good
Her
for
skin
her.
is real tight.
Hey,
There's no wrinkles.
No
Yes.
eyebrows.
The forehead looks super Botox.
Is
spaghetti.
he the a-hole Lern?
I don't like the blue alien comment, but no, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I don't think he's the a-hole.
Rafe, is he the a-hole?
I mean, it must be really bad if he thinks he looks like
Yeah.
Blue Alien.
I think he put that reference in for that reason. But I don't think he was being an a-hole. I think he's like, guys, this isn't like she tweaked something.
Right.
And she looks scary, is what he's trying to tell you.
Here's the thing. I'm going through it, and this is why I reread it, and I read it to my wife, which, by the way, my wife said the exact same thing that you said, Lern.
Yeah.
She said, this is why I don't get the things that I think I want to get, just in case. She's like, what if I come home and you're freaked out?
Yeah.
So I reread it because I was trying to see if he said she's ugly or she's this or she's that, and he never did, except for the Blue Alien comment.
Right.
He only said, I don't find her attractive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Steve, you better look up the Blue Alien from Fifth Element on your phone right now, and I need your full reaction.
I love her. She just looks like the Geico lizard.
Right. So what are the listeners think?
Well, I mean, it's overwhelming. People are saying that if they put this in their own relationship, if your partner got plastic surgery and you are no longer attracted to them, should you tell them? 78% say yes, you should tell them.
You should tell them.
Because also you're going to catch the drift anyway. You know, you start becoming unattractive to somebody, and it's like,
how come you always want doggy style? Don't worry about it.
Well, he said that he said that she asked, "Is this why you always turn off the lights?" And he does.
I mean, that's terrifying.
That is terrifying, and that's exactly what my wife said. She goes, "This is my fear."
And
She's
also,
that's why I'm not doing anything.
Was it botched? I mean, there's plenty of plastic surgery that looks excellent.
He didn't say that. I think he would have very clearly said that.
Right.
Well, I don't know, man.
Just went over the top.
He just said it's giving him uncanny valley vibes. Yep. She freaks me out. She's fully healed and she wants us to go back to normal.
Dude, you see that? There was something, I don't know if it was a meme or a short or something, where they talked about how everybody's just looking the same now. We are all getting so much stuff injected into our faces that we all have the same face. And it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
We're all becoming singular.
All right. Well, I think we learned that he's not the a-hole, right? Is that how we've all? I mean, that's the consensus here.
Again, Blue Alien comment, unnecessary. You're not the a-hole, but you could have done a little bit better about it.
And that Steve Ewing is an honest man.
That's
also
yes, that's right. Speaking of Steve Ewing being honest, this Build Back the Block tornado relief concert that you guys are putting on, absolutely incredible, man. Huge thank you to you for doing everything that you're doing. This is obviously supporting businesses that were impacted by the May 16th tornado. You got Funky Butt Brass Band. You're playing. Bill Ryder is going to be DJing. I mean, this is a whole scene. This is a heck of an event. Tell us a little bit about it, because you're going to be back by tomorrow for it, I assume.
Yep. So Build Back the Block is tomorrow, and we have a lot of great speakers out for the day. We have the mayor, and we have a lot of the big businesses in the St. Louis area have donated to help out the businesses and the neighborhood, and Action St. Louis, who's doing a great job with the recovery. So for entertainment, we have Funky Butt Brass Band. They've donated their time, and Bill and I and Jerry and Matt are going to jump up with those guys and play.
Awesome.
A few songs with them. So, it's going to be a great day. And if you guys come out, get some food, get some drinks, whatever, proceeds will go back to Action St. Louis.
It's great.
Oh, dude.
That's incredible.
Huge shout out to Steve and everybody that's lending their time for this. Such an incredible event. It's happening tomorrow. Things kick off at 5 p.m., or do I have that wrong? Is it 5 p.m.?
Yep, that's right. Cool. DJ Bill Ryder will be starting things off at 5.
So tomorrow at 5, Steve's Hot Dogs at the Fountain on Delmar, 5242 Delmar Boulevard. Steve, Bill, Jerry, a bunch of Urge guys jumping up with a Funky Butt Brass Band to raise money for tornado relief, supporting businesses impacted by that May 16th tornado. Build Back the Block. What else you got going on? What else should we know? Okay, we'll put this out on our socials as well, on the Rizz Show Facebook and everywhere. What else we got going on?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's our main thing right now is just get this restaurant back open, and really concentrate on this right now. And then, just getting some rehearsals for Urge, getting ready to do some shows this summer with our Voice 311 again on the road. So, that's what we're up to.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on the show, Lern.
I was going to say, and if you can't go tomorrow, there is a link in the event on Facebook where you can donate.
Oh,
so if
awesome.
if you got plans or something, but you still want to participate, make sure you donate. You can do any denomination, and that'd be great.
Cool. Tomorrow, Build Back the Block. Steve's Hot Dogs in the Fountain on Del Mar, 5242 Del Mar Boulevard. We'll put everything on the socials, the links to that donate and everything. Funky Butt Brass Band, Members of the Urge, and DJ Bill Ryder. Steve, thank you for calling in and weighing in on our Am I the A-Hole?
Yes.
Oh, man, thank you guys for letting me be on the show again.
All right, man.
I love you guys.
Yeah, enjoy
Anytime.
Kansas and be safe on the way home.
Congrats that your daughter's going to KU,
Yeah,
man. That's cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, Jayhawk.
Yeah.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk, baby.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Steve. Love you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Steve Ewing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, yeah.
You know what? That was good. Finding out exactly how Steve felt about that, and
That was good.
I like the laughing.
I feel, yeah, I feel.
Emphasis on the
that
laughing.
I feel way less weird because I wasn't sure how I felt about this, and,
Yeah.
and when my wife weighed in like that, I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I mean, what was this guy to do?
Right.
What was this guy to do?" So if you haven't voted, let us know. We want accurate stats. And Sexy Time Fun Facts is brought to you by.
Patricia's, where fun and fantasy meet.
So apparently Gen Z finally wants to have more sex at the office.
What?
Yeah, they want to get it on while on the clock. Gen Z might be less sexually active than other age groups, but there is one thing that is turning many of them on, and is apparently in-office sex. It seems those born between 97 and 2012 aren't opposed to doing the deed in a conference room.
Wow.
What a strange study.
Yeah.
So, return to office mandates happening all over the country, but especially in major cities. According to a new survey, 29% of Gen Zers in the workforce believe that working in an office can improve their sex lives, since being away from their significant other can make them miss each other more. However, others don't seem to want to wait to get home to satisfy their sexual needs, as originally reported in a study. So to take things to a steamy step further, the study revealed that 38% of Gen Z would love a private space in the office just for getting it on.
The onfus.
Boy, they want everything, don't they?
The orifice.
Either with a coworker or by themselves. What are you thinking?
Well,
While many of these young workers are looking for ways to keep things spicy while working on a mundane office job, others surveyed are just fine doing it in the comfort of their own homes. 47% of Gen Z workers who work remotely admitted that they're prioritizing sex more, since it's easier to find the time for it. So I guess that's...
So they have an office kink.
this is
It's full circle, dude.
yeah.
What's
We're
that?
back to the 50s, Mad Men. It's
Yeah.
like we
Smoking next in here.
we corrected all that behavior, and now the next generation just become. It's like the thing, like that's why they're also buttoned up and conservative. We went so far with like, yeah, be you, man, do you. Everyone's an individual. That now they're like, no. Let's go back to the 50s. Next thing will be like, we want to smoke on airplanes and sexually harassed flight attendants.
Well, I don't know about
Good
that.
job, Gen Z.
Yeah, you're back.
We'll see. So we just had that Am I the A-hole about this dude who had a wife who had major surgery, and he's not attracted to her anymore. And did you know that now nearly half of men say that too much makeup is a big turnoff? According to recent research, 45% of guys admit that heavy makeup is a major mood killer. When shown photos of women with different amounts of makeup, both men and women prefer the picture where women wore less makeup. So a more natural look tends to win hearts on both sides these days. After lots of makeup, fake tans are the next biggest beauty turnoff for men. 33% say that that's a huge turnoff. Bright red lipstick only bothers about 5% of guys, and thick eyebrows or big false lashes are turnoffs for about 4%.
It's not a very big percentage.
No. I like
No.
the one brow, though. What's the percent on that?
Unibrow? I don't know. Didn't see that. More than half of women wear makeup because it makes them feel good, not just to impress others. In fact, 14% of women say that they wouldn't leave the house without it, and 17% have even skipped a date if they couldn't put on makeup first. Beauty trends come and go, but confidence is always sexy, whether you rock a bold lip or go totally natural. Feeling good about yourself is what really matters in the romance department. So the next time you swipe on lipstick or go barefaced, just remember real attraction starts with self-love.
What do you guys think about makeup on your women?
Well, I mean, I like it to compliment, but not be the main. I don't know, because it's funny, because women are always like, yeah, men don't have to wear it. But I'm like, you guys don't have to either. You know, you're pretty, you're pretty. You get to live life like that. You don't have to worry about covering it up. And I mean, there's a reason Clownvis does that, I guess. But if it's even makeup, it's probably just real face. But
his contouring is amazing.
yeah,
He's pretty
but
good.
I don't know. I don't think women have to be a clown. They can.
All right,
just
so you're not
compliment.
into it?
Compliment.
Yeah, there's definitely a too far, but I don't know. I don't think about it. Like my wife mentions it all the time, and I'm not thinking about it. I hate to be that cliche dude, but I'm married. I'm happy. I'm attracted to her. All
You don't
the
care.
ways.
I mean,
I kind of don't care.
Mel does great makeup. Like
don't.
her brows always look on point, and
Yeah, she knows that she's
Classy.
not doing it for me. She knows that.
yeah,
now.
she's doing it for herself.
Yeah, she's only doing it for herself.
I would say that's mainly every woman. I mean, I guess there are some that would probably like want to look better and for other people, but I think it's just fun at this point. What about you? What do you
Yeah, it
think
is an
about
art.
I'm way different. I love it all, dude. I like it when I like the overly glam look. That's hot. I like trashy. I like put on some dark
You like the
eyeshadow.
women a little on
I
the
do.
trashy
And
side.
you know what? I like a fake tan with the Playboy bunny sticker.
That's a great song.
I like when a woman goes au naturel. Like there's something sexy about all of it to me. It's just like maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm like, hey man, if you're feeling good and you're looking hot, put too much glitter on. Doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah,
Frederick's
it
a
is.
Hollywood.
It is the confidence.
And when a woman gets glammed out, the glam look, that's sexy as hell, dude. I don't care. Like doesn't mean they have to do it for me, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it all. And sometimes I saw a woman at the racetrack yesterday, not the one that almost made me fall out of my chair because she had too much work done. She was glammed out, just living her best. I'm pretty sure she had a wig on, and I was like, I'm loving this.
Yeah.
This is my style. I'm loving. She had a big beehive wig on, and I'm like,
nice.
it's doing it for me, kind of, man. I don't know. Like, I love it all.
That sounds sweaty.
Yeah.
I love it all. I haven't seen any I don't really like, to be honest with you.
That's good.
That's good.
It's all
Actually,
about the
I like
confidence, though. Yeah.
All right, so the full spectrum is on this show.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
definitely on the spectrum.
We're cool with it all. Well, if your sex drive tends to dip in the summer, don't panic. It's common and totally normal, apparently. Experts say
It's too hot.
that heat
Yes.
definitely kills the libido by raising stress levels, messing with sleep, leaving you hot, cranky, dehydrated. None of which are great for romance, of course. Physical discomfort aside, summer parenting duties and busy vacations also leave you exhausted, distracted, and with almost no alone time. Even though summer looks sexy on the outside, you don't get the pools and all that kind of stuff. The reality is actually far less steamy.
It's the heat, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, I mean,
100%.
honestly,
It
you
is,
guys
for
ever,
sure.
with your partners, you ever shut it down because you got too hot?
Yep.
You're just like, yeah,
I definitely have. I've definitely been like, you got to
I'm
get
turning
off.
red in all the wrong places.
We got to turn the air conditioner on. I
Oh
should
my
have done
God.
this
Yep.
before we started.
Like you
too
try
hot.
having sex like in a tent in like August, like early August. Kill me now.
Where you
Like,
just get angry. You're angry and you're like, I hate
yeah,
everything.
There's like it's gross, it's sticky. I mean, and that could be great, You get a couple of drinks and things are
Yeah,
fine, but
it can't be long.
like
Kill me
yeah.
now. But that's exactly
I
what
ain't trying to do a marathon at 85 degrees. I'm like, we got to turn the thermostat down.
Yeah.
I have definitely shut it down around and you can tell too when your partner gets too hot. You're like, are you hot right now? It's like, yeah. I feel like I'm going to throw up. And I'm like, all right, well, let's take
My
a
heart
break.
rate's at 180.
Let's take a break.
time out. You just got to call it time.
Yeah, I totally get this.
Sex therapists suggest shifting expectations, finding cooler times like the mornings or the evenings, reconnecting through small gestures like eye contact or playful touches throughout the day. Keep things light, ditch the pressure, and remember, just because it's summer doesn't mean the passion has to sizzle 24/7. Speaking of eye contact, I have a list of the how to build the relationship of your dreams in 5 easy research-backed steps.
Oh, great.
This is a list that I had to read verbatim to see how you guys feel.
All right.
It says, want a lasting, fulfilling relationship, ? It doesn't take grand gestures or expensive dates. Just simple, consistent habits backed by research. Here are 5 small, powerful ways to build a dream relationship. Number 1, eye contact. Look your partner in the eye. It may seem small, but mutual eye contact builds connection, increases feelings of love. Couples who maintain it report stronger relationships. A simple hello with eye contact when you walk in the door can set a positive tone. Who's in love with somebody or living with somebody that they're not making eye contact with? This is weird.
Yeah.
My wife has really bad googly eyes, so it's hard to. They're always just all over the place.
Number
I
two
try.
is hug more and often.
Oh yeah.
Hug more often and longer.
Thank God this genius wrote this article.
Yeah. So far, so good. Okay.
A daily 10 to 20 second hug can release oxytocin, reduce stress, and boost emotional closeness. Hugs are easy, free, and surprisingly impactful. Just one long embrace each day can deepen your bond.
That's good.
That is a good one. I do think that is like,
I think that's why Rizz does that to us every morning. He gives us each a long, nice hug.
A nice long hug and a very slow, lasting kiss right on the cheek.
You guys are super weird in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, studies show. We're just trying to put on the greatest show we can. That's all.
Yeah.
Number 3 is pay attention. Knowing and noticing your partner's likes, dislikes, and feelings shows you care and prevents emotional distance. Don't guess. Ask real questions. Interest and attentiveness are key to making your partner feel seen and loved. Number 4, make small gestures.
Oh.
Little things go a long way. Bring flowers, leave a sweet note, say thank you. These gestures don't make big social media moments, but they build daily happiness and keep relationships thriving.
Right on.
Okay.
And make her a nice bowl of sloppy Joe.
That was number 5, is bowl of sloppy Joe.
Okay,
I'm
there
just
we go.
kidding. Number 5 was make time to talk. Set aside intentional time together. Even 15 distraction-free minutes of conversation per day helps. Whether it's morning coffee, a walk, or a quick post-work chat, shared time keeps connection strong. Consistency beats flash. Practice these 5 habits, and you'll have the perfect relationship.
Wow.
I found out Friday. I did and there'll be more to come on this, but I did a parasocial love study at UMSL. I was the subject.
This is wild.
They studied my brain waves as I looked at photos of Rizz, Tina, and Reba McEntire to see who I love the most. And I found out oxytocin, they just found out, is like not always good. I always associated it with, it was like, because I go, oh yeah, love is, I was asking the professor to explain that she's literally a professor in love and like emotions.
Hey, what do
and
you
connection.
do? I'm a love professor.
Yeah, she was from the Netherlands too.
Oh,
whoa.
Did you enroll in
For
this on
some
your own? Like, how did this come about for you? I'm curious.
I enrolled in it on my own.
For some reason,
I
by
found
the
it
way,
on Craigslist.
that gives it.
This is what happens with the show, dude. I get on Craigslist, I go down a rabbit hole, and I'm like,
And next, you're
this
talking.
would be fun. I'm gonna. Yeah, it's something. It's a new segment I'm trying to get off the ground, but
and then
we'll
you're
see.
then you're talking to a Dutch love pro.
Talking to Dutch oven, and it was hot in there, and I felt like I was in a Dutch oven.
So what happened? What was this
Well, she
oxytocin?
just told me that oxytocin promotes negative. It promotes all social emotions. They always thought it was only positive, love, connection. It also promotes jealousy, envy.
Whoa.
And she's like, it's not necessarily. It had always been called the love chemical, and she's like, we're finding out it is not that. That it actually promotes just as much negativity as positivity.
Holy smokes.
And that it's not that is not the sustainable.
So do you love or you hate Reba
That's not the
McEntire?
sustainable chemical. Oh, you'll have to. Well, the video will tell.
All right.
I will tell you, it was definitive,
Okay.
That's going to be awesome.
and it was definitive. There was also a Dutch American Idol star that I'd never heard of that was the control. So they basically showed me pictures of everyone and measured my brainwaves.
Did she think that you would know who this was?
No, it's supposed to be someone. She's like, no one ever knows who he is, so he was supposed to be the control.
Oh, and it was a feller.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a fella. Just to see how I felt about everyone, and then they showed me the results of my brainwaves. And it's a larger study, but there was definitely some definitive data. And we'll get to that. But the oxytocin thing I found very interesting.
Yeah, that is
That's great. We were talking about this earlier. You were talking about AI boyfriends and girlfriends. Somebody mentioned it in here. And Match just released the 14th annual Singles in America report. So the most interesting stats are actually just about how many people are using AI for love. 1 in 4 singles are now using it to help them with dating, up to 333% from last year.
Wow.
That includes help with things like your profile, sending messages, or screening for compatibility. 26% say that they've done that, including half of Gen Zers. Now, 16%, or 1 in 6 overall, said that they've actually interacted with AI as their romantic companion. That is the line used in the report, but it's straight up some Joaquin Phoenix in Her, right? Is that the movie? Her
Yeah,
or
with Scarlett
She?
Johansson.
Yeah. So, I mean, that movie is truth at this point. The example listed in the poll, they were using AI for a type of, quote, companionship or emotional support you'd normally get from a romantic partner. So yes, we're talking about robot boyfriends, robot girlfriends, or at least short-term ones. How do you feel about this?
I mean, I get it for using it for your profile. Maybe you're trying to make it better in some way, enhance it, find a better way to phrase your profile. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But this is them.
We're talking about using AI as the romantic companion.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's...
so they go to it, if someone asks them a question, they go to AI immediately to have them write?
No,
Is that what you're saying?
they're like looking for validation through an AI as like
Okay,
a person.
okay.
Yeah, they're talking to the program as
Yeah.
if they're romantically invested
Okay.
with this quote-unquote.
Yeah.
You know who I blame?
entity.
I blame Tamagotchi. Remember the pets that we had in the 90s?
Do you think that's what
Sounded
started?
like you said Tom.
I thought it was
Magacci.
Tom. I was like,
I
who's
also
this
blame
Tom
him.
guy?
Mr. Magachi?
Yeah, Tom Magacci. I also blame him for what's going on. No, I think this is like people that are sick of humans that want to date futuristically, fine. But what if you're like avoiding your actual issues and you're just kind of scapegoating in, like you're like, I'm done with the human race, so now I'm just going to date my computer.
Yeah, is this sick of humans or is this not, I mean, shall we say, socially inept?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, maybe they're
It's
just
combo.
socially inept and having difficulties, and instead of pushing through those barriers or working towards pushing through those barriers, they're turning to this because it's the easy out.
I hope this helps in celibate people that are like, the incels. I hope this helps that group of human beings because I think that could be a positive for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as far as somebody who's dated people before and they've just kind of given up, I
Yeah,
think
it's
that
a
sucks.
red flag.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. A third of Gen Zers and a quarter of millennials say that they've used AI like this. And the stat is relevant because a lot of these people are already coupled up. 40% said having an AI boyfriend or a girlfriend does count as cheating in 2025. So what if someone is doing this while they are in a human-to-human relationship? Is it cheating?
I don't think so.
I don't care.
It's like watching porn.
But I mean, it's.
Well, some people believe that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like similar to that. I don't
You're
agree
emotionally
with
invested, though, right?
Yeah, are you though? Because this is my thing to go back to the prior question. Like, and I've said this before on the show. This isn't love, man. You're not getting any. Love is risk. That is part of the deal. Real love is risk. You have to risk not being loved in return. You have to risk loss. You have to risk bad timing. You have to risk exposing parts of yourselves that they have to accept the bad parts of you. And if you're just feeding into an algorithm that is made to make you feel perfect and always has the perfect reaction and never, it might feel good never to be judged and it might feel good never to take the risk. But when you don't take the risk, you don't get the reward. Love is equal parts bliss and pain. That is what love is. Love is the losing someone you love and all that pain and grief that you feel is part of love. That is a part of that emotion.
That's good.
That loss that you feel when someone is gone that you cared for and loved, and knowing that that day's coming and that you have a finite amount of time with the people that you love. That is all, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, that is part of the deal, and it's the most beautiful part of it. And you're taking that part away from yourself.
So are you saying if love is not involved, it's not cheating?
I don't care if it's cheating. I just think you're cheating yourself because you're not. The time you're spending doing that and engaging with this positive feedback loop, it's like the confirmation bias of the internet. That algorithm's built to tell you what you already think. No one's challenging you. No one is. You don't have to risk showing the ugly parts of yourself to someone and worry that they leave you, or risk being jealous, risk being envious, risk the fact that you're in love. Unrequited love sucks, but sometimes it's good to have that in your life too, because you learn rejection. You learn how to handle it. And you move on from it, and you feel those feelings, and you feel those pain. And I think that, that is just, that to me, that's the beautiful part of love, is sometimes I've been in love where it just didn't work. The timing was bad, or you're in long distance, or you have to make a choice between a career or you're not spent each other's needs, and you really have to learn how to be a better version of yourself for somebody, and to want to be a better version of yourself for this other person. You don't have to do that with AI. You can just be your regular turd self, and this computer will be like, yeah, you're awesome.
You're dope.
You're
dude.
amazing.
And it's fake.
That's it. Yeah.
You're the
It's
best.
literally fake.
It's literally fake.
Well,
So there's nothing authentic about it, and I 100% agree with Rafe, and I just think that it's pathetic. Like that's my terrible a-hole judgment is I'm going, well, you're not putting yourself out there, you're giving up on humans, and you're being fed fake stuff, and that sucks for you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and the part that is wonderful about getting married and having that partnership is that, you think, man, I'm doing pretty good, there's not too many flaws in my life, but they're actually there and they'll help you catch stuff that you're missing.
Yeah, they
sharpen you up.
They help
and make you
refine
better.
you. They're pulling the best you out of you.
And it's the best. Like, it's just incredible to see how your life improves once you do that.
That's the other thing. And it is a 360-degree feedback loop. Having someone else show you the parts of themselves that they keep hidden, or accepting someone else for their flaws, or learning to, how another person compliments you and their strengths and weaknesses in relationships is like, that's a beautiful thing, and you don't get any of that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be messy.
It's supposed to be messy, and like, dude, go get crushed. I don't know how to. It sucks, and I've had it happen.
It sucks, but it's awesome.
Yeah, it really. I know that it does. It sucks.
It's a catalyst.
You will be
go
so
out in
much
the world
cooler.
and fall in love with somebody and lose them and get effing crushed.
Yeah.
And rebuild yourself.
It's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved
and
at
it
all.
really,
Exactly.
it's absolutely one of the most horrible feelings in the world. But that's what makes, the bitter is what makes the sweet taste sweet. Yeah. When it's good and it's rocking and rolling, even if it's for a short time, it feels so much better because you earned it because you got freaking crushed.
That's right. We here at the Rizz Show are encouraging tragedy. Get out there and find tragedy.
Get out there,
y'all.
But also, we live in a world where people are very easily offended, and that's the other thing that's a win-win with human interaction.
Yeah.
Is you can learn how to quickly get over offense and like forgive and move on and be happy.
Man,
it's the universal question we would all ask. The universe, God, whatever, is like, what do you do with the pieces of a broken heart? We all want to know, right? You go get your heart broken. That's the only way you got to feel that, man. You're going to get your heart broken with a robot. Robot's just going to tell you you're cool, you're good looking. And yeah, that probably feels good.
I need update.
But in your mind it's not real.
I hate it, dude. I hate AI so much. I'm just so analog.
You are very against it.
I really am. I think it's because we're already like all torn up as human beings, and that's what makes us so beautiful. But it's also so tragic. And the fact that people are just literally light speeds ahead. They're just like, I'm done with humanity. I'm going to go to the bot now. What a freaking pathetic type of singular analog 0101 life that you're going to live. I'll always love people and humans, even for our crappy parts. And I want nothing to do with this. And I apologize if I've offended anybody who is in an AI relationship right now. But I just think that you deserve better, and that's all I'm trying to say. So thank you.
I do love the fact that on a consistent basis, when Rizz isn't here, we get deep.
Well, yeah, he doesn't like to go, dude. He does not like to go below the surface at all, and I love it.
I didn't say that, boss. She said that.
Yeah, Rizz, put yourself out there, man. If you're listening,
get off AI. Hey, speaking of,
because it is good when another person chooses to love the parts of you that you hate about yourself.
It's pretty awesome.
That's a deep moment in life, man. Everyone should have that.
Speaking of deep moments and putting yourself out there. Rafe told me that he's got a couple of Rafe on relationship deep moments today.
We got a couple, yeah.
From the internet. So why don't you go, last time I did a little improv, music beds.
Yeah.
And you kind of shaped the voicing, because usually when we're reading these things, we're trying to kind of like picture a voice, picture a fella.
Picture who wrote this.
Yeah, who wrote it, what their accent may have been, or their inner, song. So let's start with this one, Rafe. Can you just give me the title or
we're going right into it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Give me some Rafe on relationships.
All right. Do you guys want to start? You want to do a quick around the horn on a Reddit thing I found, and then we'll get into the music beds? Or you want to start with them?
Sure. Yeah. Well, no. Let's start with it around the horn. I'm going to play something that's entitled "Round Table." Let's just see if this fits.
Okay. Oh. This is Am I overreacting? My fiance isn't invited to the wedding because the bride doesn't want people thinking she's prettier than her.
Oh.
My girlfriend, 26, or my lifelong best friend, 26, male, and is getting married later this year. When he first got engaged, he asked me to be one of the groomsmen. I obviously accepted and have been excited for the wedding. To see my best friend get married His fiancée, 26 female, and my fiancée, 25 female, have always gotten along really well. The four of us hang out frequently. We go on dates. Always have a great time, and there's never been any problems. My fiancée has always considered her a friend and has been extremely happy for them and excited about their wedding. His fiancée has even asked my fiancée for her thoughts and suggestions on certain decor for the wedding, venues, colors, things of that nature. The official wedding invitations were sent out recently, and when it arrived at our home, I noticed it was only addressed to me. And I didn't say anything, that it didn't have a +1. I was kind of surprised by this because I'd been assuming that my fiancé would be invited, given the fact that I've been with her for 4 years, longer than he has been with his fiancée. And he's been my best friend since preschool. The four of us hang out all the time, and some of my family members even received invitations. That's when I started to call around, and I was informed that everyone else got a +1 except for me. And I was perplexed by this. I called my friend and asked if it was an error, for perhaps they forgot to include her upon it. That's when he informed me that his fiancée does not want my fiancée coming to the wedding because she doesn't want the guests thinking my fiancée is prettier than her.
Wow.
Now, I will say my fiancée is insanely gorgeous. If I had a penny every time someone asked me how I managed to get her, I would be a billionaire. On the other hand, his fiancée isn't the most conventionally attractive woman. I feel bad saying that, and it's something I've never said out loud to anyone. But for context, I wanted to include that here. I told him that I know it's not my wedding, so I don't get to pick the guest list, and I think it's a bit unfair and ridiculous. And my fiancée is worried people will be prettier than her. I told him this fiancée is the bride. Everyone's going to be looking at her. No one will be focused on my fiancée, who's not even in the wedding party. He said he agrees with me. He's already tried multiple times. She refuses to budge. So I told him I cannot be a groomsman or attend their wedding because in my eyes it's not fair. And now he is very pissed at me. He's upset with me now and says I'm overreacting, but I think this is fair. My fiancée told me, don't worry about it. Go to the wedding, have a good time, which was big on her part. But I refuse. I honestly don't want to be around the bride. Am I overreacting?
Oh, man.
You guys all had weddings.
What a crazy thing.
It's kind of insulting.
The whole thing is nuts. Like, you didn't invite somebody because she's prettier than you?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't go either. I would just decline. I go, we got something else
what
to
a
do.
cool
I feel like
reason to not get a wedding invite.
Yeah, but this also sounds like a
That is a
BS
very cool
reason.
reason.
That sounds like a nice compliment, knowing that I upset and insulted you. Right?
I mean, you
Fake
complimented.
excuse?
I mean, maybe.
I would-
It seems legit.
It
I'm going to
seems
treat it
legit.
as if it were legit. Like, she's just like, she's hot. She's going to come in a little black dress and look hot and be hotter than me on my wedding day. I think this is bright, like wedding day entitlement run amok is what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an easy fix, though. He could just have his fiance, who's stunningly gorgeous, go get to that same plastic surgeon we talked about earlier in the show that messed up
To get
the face.
uglier?
Yeah, and then it'll be fine.
I've got it.
What do you do?
You go to the wedding. You enjoy the dancing. You enjoy the open bar. You enjoy the dinner. And
By
everything.
yourself?
The spoils.
Yes. You know everyone else. It's fine.
Okay.
Your girlfriend's fine with it.
She's fine as hell.
However, you don't bring a gift.
No gift.
And if they question why you didn't bring a gift, you say, I was going to bring the greatest gift. And I didn't want to make anyone feel inadequate.
Oh, good.
By
That
not,
is a good excuse.
By not bringing as good a gift as I brought.
In fact,
Right.
I just layer that through everything. I was going to give a speech. But it was going to be such a good speech.
It would have been so hot.
That the maid of honor would have been embarrassed.
Exactly. just
lay it on.
Go in with the exact same sort of. I mean, hey, just meet her where she is.
Yep.
Cody says, bring a gift, but it's just a picture of your hot ass girlfriend.
I like
So
that.
she's got to unwrap the hottie.
Oh, the wrapping paper actually is just photos of her.
Yes.
The gift is just a card with a coupon for fat camp.
Oh
and
my gosh.
Nyack
Or where your
plastic
girlfriend
surgery.
works out.
Savage.
Yeah.
I also
That's
hope.
insane.
I hope for anything there's a server that's part of the place they're renting out or whatever that is just absolutely gorgeous, and it's like, no, someone prettier than me is here.
All right. Well, I think we've.
Everybody dressed like crap. That should have been on the
yeah.
invitation. Like, please dress down because the bride can't handle it.
Dress like the bride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we we got a good answer there.
Okay.
We've got good options for them. Okay,
Yeah.
what?
Dress like the bride looks.
I want some misconnections, Rafe.
Give me
All
one
right.
more. Let me give you this music. and
Let's
see
do.
what else
We got 3 short misconnections. This is to the girl at Ted Drew's who dropped her concrete.
Oh.
Woo! You said it's fine, but I saw the heartbreak in your soul. You scooped it up off the pavement like a St. Louis warrior and kept eating it like nothing happened while making direct eye contact with me. You're either my soulmate or a raccoon in human form. You had on an ICP jersey.
Of course you
That
did.
checks out. Message me, what was I wearing? Let's hook up.
Eating the cone off the asphalt at Ted Drew's?
I like
Says a girl at Ted Drew's dropped her concrete, just scooped it right back into the cup or cone and went to town.
My
Oh,
goodness.
And she was wearing an Insane Clown Posse jersey.
It was a concrete, you said?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, it was.
this is definitely the wrong
So-
music for that. Then.
Girl, if you were out there in an ICP jersey and
Eating that cone off the
eating
lot.
the cone off the lot, as he got a deal for you.
Ooh.
There's a juggalo with your name on
All
it.
right, the next one is at Busch Stadium, so
Yeah.
you decide the music that you think is appropriate for Busch Stadium.
How's this?
Oh,
This is
dang.
awesome.
I'm looking at a Camaro with T-tops.
Yeah.
With a mullet inside.
And dude, this fits.
All right.
You, man in a Cardinals jersey, screaming at the Jumbotron. Me, woman sitting 3 rows down, pretending not to be impressed by your rage. You yelled, Yadi would never do that! Yadi would never do that! And I felt it in my ovaries.
Yes.
Let's hook up. I was wearing a lot of sparkly stuff. You know who I am.
Dang.
That's the most St. Louis message. That's the most St. Louis Craigslist misconnection.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe ever.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
that is.
I was wearing, I can see this woman's bedazzled Cardinals gear in my head. And I can see the guy 10 beers in yelling at the new catcher.
Yeah.
Yadi would never do that.
And you know that she went to Ted Drew's afterwards for sure. Drunk as
This could be the same woman.
Yeah.
She might have had a
Date them
sparkly
both.
ICP jersey on.
We need to turn this into a song, by the way. Those are great lyrics.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I think,
Yadi would never do that. Yadi would never do
I
that.
think we got a podcast title in there as well.
I got one more Trader Joe's in Brentwood if you want to go for it.
All
Trader
right, this
Joe's
is it.
in Brentwood. Hang on, let me
Give me
find something.
what makes
Oh
you
my
feel-
God, Brentwood Promenade too. So make
This
sure it's
is
chaotic.
Brentwood Promenade, yeah. This should probably be.
You know, the parking down there is like a movie.
Yes, the vortex to hell.
Trader Joe's in Brentwood.
Coming up this summer.
She was looking for cauliflower gnocchi, and he was just there to get a can of green beans.
In a world.
In a world where you bring your own bag.
This week on the Hallmark Channel, Trader Joe's in Brentwood. You asked me where the cauliflower gnocchi was. You laughed and said, "You're funny," then disappeared into the frozen aisle, like Batman if Batman was mindful about gluten. You are so freaking hot, and I want to gnocchi you up. LOL.
Wow.
Hit me up this summer on the Hallmark Channel. Gnocchi you up.
And those are your St. Louis
That one
misconnections.
fit really well. Thank you.
Awesome.
Trader Joe's in Brentwood.
Good luck parking your car.
This summer. We definitely have way too much fun with that.
That is beautiful. Nice
love
work,
it.
guys.
A little bit off the rails.
It
Well,
actually,
job, Rafe.
'cause when I read these things on misconnections, I think it really does help. Because I'm
the
like,
music?
yeah, it gets me in the character of the person who wrote
Yeah.
it. Because I'm
Yeah.
often trying to get in their head.
And that's
Yeah.
what I think. This is exactly what they were listening to.
I
when
don't
they did
always
that.
find the right music, babe, but when it hits, it hits.
Oh, yeah.
It really.
Good job, man.
I think that
Yeah,
was
excellent job.
I
Well
think that
done.
was all right.
You should play
Great
music.
job, Rafe. Rafe on relationships. Happy birthday, Rizz. Welcome back to the Rizzuto Show. Let's just get right into this. We got tickets to give away. Alrighty, the contest today is 3 in 5. 3 in 5. This is where we give you a 5-second timer. Rafe will give you a category, and you have to name 3 things in that category within the 5 seconds. 2 out of 3, you get a prize. The only big caveat here to remember is that you are not allowed any sort of stall tactics. No
Right.
None of that. No ums, no uhs, no buts, no sounds of any kind. You will get the buzzer, and then you will not get the tickets. Right now, we have Puddle of Mud tickets August 2nd at Alton Amphitheater. We have Social D July 9th at the Pageant. Incubus playing a Big Point Summer Show with special guest Manchester Orchestra July 3rd at Chaffetz. And a pair of tickets to see Cake 2 nights next Tuesday, June 24th, and next Wednesday, June 25th at the Factory. It's 3 and 5 time. Rafe, are you prepared?
I'm ready, but we got to move swiftly, so I need Judges Moon, Judges Lern, and Judges King Scott to move swift and decisive.
Okay,
Fine.
swift and decisive. We are running out of time here. Christopher and Cottleville, you are first up. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Christopher.
Christopher, good luck.
Hit it, Rafe.
Are you ready?
Here we go.
Name me 3 movies where someone gets eaten.
Jurassic Park.
Noah's.
Yeah.
You're on the right path, my man. You just it up.
Jurassic Park. All right, you can come back here. You got this, Christopher. Go.
Christopher, 3 things that melt.
Ice cream, ice.
Bye, Christopher.
All right, goodbye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
We've got Justin in St. Louis. Justin, how are you feeling today?
Pretty good, pretty good. Other than the AC going out last night while I was at the racetrack.
That sucks.
Oh, what a bummer. But hey, heck of a race.
What a fun day.
Heck of a race, right?
Yeah, heck of a race. Love to see Rizz. Love to see everybody out there. Had a blast.
All righty. Well, get some tickets and have another blast on us by winning 3 and 5. Go, Rafe.
Justin, name 3 animated TV moms.
Marge, you caught me.
Yep, caught you off guard. Well, now
I think the air conditioner in your brain went out on that one, brother.
stretch it out. Here we go.
Here we go. Bounce back.
All right, good luck, dude. Name 3 guilty pleasure reality shows.
Nope. Sorry, guys. Have a great one.
All
Yeah,
right,
you
see
too,
later.
Justin.
I mean, that could have been
Goodbye.
anything. That could have been like my guilty pleasure is Pawn Stars.
Literally anything.
Alex in High Ridge. Alex, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
It's the best day of our life. Thank you for asking.
Alex, get your head on straight, pal.
Here
we
we
need
go.
somebody to win these tickets.
3 and 5. Go.
We're struggling today. Alex, name 3 things that have a zipper.
Pants, jacket, hat.
Perfect.
Hat?
Hey, man, I've seen hats with little zippers on them where you can store your weed.
What are you
It's
talking
a
about?
style thing.
Yeah,
It's a
I know
style
what
thing.
we're talking about. Dude, Forever 21, they had zipper hats.
Yes or no?
Yes, I will count it.
I guess
All
that's
right.
ridiculous.
You got, brother.
Hey, man.
Brother, you got
Dude, I can get on Amazon right now.
You
and buy
got a
zipper
guardian
hat.
angel in the room.
All right, let's do it
Here
again.
we
I
go,
appreciate
Alex. Name
All right.
3 Queen songs.
Bohemian Rhapsody, crap.
Crap, indeed.
Bohemian Rhapsody
one more
and
chance.
Crap.
Crap was a demo at best.
All right, here we go, man. Alex, name 3 TV shows with a laugh track.
Friends, oh,
Oh,
man.
man, indeed.
Any sitcom would have got.
Aaron in Overland. Aaron.
Seinfeld, Full House, Big Bang Theory, 2.5 Men.
Easy on me, Rafe.
Just
Brother,
please,
I mean,
please win.
I'm
Please
trying.
Get
Here we
your
go.
head on.
Go, go,
Here
go.
we go.
What do I got to do? Name a color? This is getting out of control.
Do it.
Well,
Here we go.
Red, blue, yellow.
Here you go, bud. Name 3 types of hat.
Cowboy, baseball, steelworker hat.
fine. Love it. Hard hat.
We shall accept.
Steelworker hat, we're accepting. All right.
Here we go. For the tickets. For the win.
For the win, name 3 famous Steves.
Steve Gutenberg, Steve Young, Steve Truckenberg.
Steve Truckenberg.
Traustenberg.
Here's
Sounds like you.
Steve Truckenberg.
Who is that? Tell me who that is right now.
Quickly.
He's an athlete.
He's an athlete.
And his name is what? Steve Traustenberg?
Steven Joel Truckenberg. So he's a hockey coach.
Steven.
For who?
I
think you're full of crap, my man.
I'm trying, all right.
Spell his last name.
I got no time for this. Learn. What are we doing
Dude,
here?
I don't know who the hell Steve Truckenberg is.
Steve Space Truckenberg.
Okay, do better. Let's do one more.
All right.
What?
All right.
Yeah, we have one more round, right?
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
That didn't count?
He got the hat.
He got the.
We're
got
not
the
taking.
hat.
We're not
Or
taking Steve
the
Truxton
hat.
Stuckenberg.
Okay.
No, he's
Here we
got
go.
one more. Here
For the
we go.
win.
This is it.
You got this, brother.
Come on.
Name 3 things you'd scream at a sporting event.
Go, score, run.
Love it. Great words
Yes.
to yell.
Thank
Nice and
goodness.
short.
We got a winner. All right, last caller. This is Joe. Joe in St. Louis. Joe, you're the last one. Do something here, okay?
All right, brother.
Joe.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah,
Hey, Joe.
Joe.
Hey, Joe. Joe, name 3 fictional doctors.
House, Dr. Seuss.
Damn it.
I was gonna
Dr.
take-
Phil.
I was gonna
That's
take
very
Kevin.
good.
That's all ones I had
How
written down.
dare you?
Dr.
Dr.
Phil.
Phil.
I have
is
Dr.
your
Phil.
doctor.
I wrote down Dr. Phil will be acceptable.
He's the official doctor of the United States of America.
Dr.
How dare you?
Strange, Dr. Little.
I wish I could ding you there, but I can't.
Questionable. There we go.
All right, that was good.
You
You got it right here, buddy.
Where is it, dude? I need it.
Name 3 foods that make a mess.
Pizza, cheese, mozzarella sticks.
You got cheese on the mind, and I like it. Confirmed.
Do those foods that make a mess?
Hell yeah, dude.
Are you drunk?
Anything with
Pizza
cheese.
makes a mess?
Yeah, you get sauce on your fingers. There's cheese everywhere. The
Oh,
olive
you get
falls
sauce
off.
on your pants.
Are
Yeah.
you drunk?
You got crust in your boobies.
Cheese.
Does that count?
And cheese sticks.
I wasn't paying attention. I was looking for Dr.
Cheese is
Phil.
a mess, dude. Shredded cheddar. You're trying to.
Oh, she's
just-
really wanting to give some tickets away today.
What do I do over here?
Give it to him.
the official
still
judge
gotta get
says
another
I
one.
got
Yeah, guys,
cheese down my
appreciate it.
pants.
Okay,
Yeah,
one more.
let's go.
We got
Would have accepted ribs, spaghetti, sloppy joes, powdered donuts.
Let's do this, Joe.
tacos.
I'm hanging up on you regardless. Let's go.
Joe, name 3 movies set in space.
No, damn you, Joe.
I knew it. I
Gave you a
knew it.
freebie and you ate it up.
All right, I'm done.
Okay.
It is really hard. It's really hard to keep it together.
Couple winners.
And your news is sponsored by
CarStar, your auto body repair expert. Hell damage? See them at carstar.com.
The man suspected of killing a Minnesota lawmaker and wounding another has been taken into custody. That dude has been arrested. 2 law enforcement officials said that they brought an end to a nearly 2-day search that put the state on edge. I'd say the country on edge. Vance Boelter was arrested Sunday evening. Former Democratic House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark were both killed in their home early Saturday in the Minneapolis suburbs. Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette were injured at their Champlin home about 9 miles away. Boelter was captured in Minnesota and faces 2 counts of murder and 2 of attempted murder. According to charging documents unsealed after his arrest, police officers witnessed the suspect fatally shoot Mark Hortman before he fled the scene.
Whoa.
That's what documents say.
They witnessed it?
Did you see that this guy texted his roommate? So he's like 47 years old, has a roommate, and he texted his roommate, and they had this guy on the news, and he was essentially reading it and saying like, hey, I don't want you to have any information about what's going on, but this will probably be my last text to you, because he thought he was going to get killed. He thought he was going to get taken out by police, but they got him alive in custody.
What the heck?
Yeah, I saw like a video of him. I don't know, breaking into a car or a van or something like that. I think that was one of the last videos that they put out there before they announced that he was arrested. And he had that hat on that they kept putting around the all persons bulletin saying that he's wearing this cowboy hat, right? Because in the shot, in the doorbell camera, when he was breaking in, he looked like a security guard or a cop or something. Had a vest on and had one of those masks on that like makes you look bald. So he looked like a bald. It was terrifying.
Sure.
Like nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
2.9 magnitude earthquake struck early Friday around 6:18, about 3 miles southwest of Dacono, Colorado, but was felt all the way across northern Denver suburbs. Though modest in size, it drew attention because it was really shallow, apparently. You know, like some earthquakes are a little bit closer to the surface, some are a little bit deeper, and this is normally a quiet seismic region, but it was really shallow, less than a half a mile, I guess, with over 500 residents reporting shaking and audible booms across the area. No damage or injuries were reported, but the quake underscores that Colorado, while less quake-prone than places like California, still experiences periodic jolts. I know we've had a few, like small ones around here. I still have yet to feel one.
I know, me too.
And I hate to say that I want to, but I do.
I love them.
You love them.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
you
just
had
fun.
them a lot when you were in Southern California.
And then that's where I felt like I was otherworldly because I get this weird kind of lightheadedness right before they would happen. And
like
and I would know-
phenomenon.
Yeah.
Oh, you're John Travolta, dude.
It was awesome. And I don't know, I miss having that where you're like, oh, there's an earthquake. And then it starts rattling everywhere. And you're like, yes.
You really are magic, man.
Thank you.
And news is brought to you by
Whatever
I can
Scott's eating.
Scott can predict earthquakes, but only 1 second before they happen.
He can't warn
What a
anybody.
skill.
He
I'm like
can't-
Captain
he can't-
Hindsight.
He can't predict when I'm going to throw it to him. For
Guys, you're not going to believe this.
I swear an earthquake is happening.
Yep. Schicker Auto Group, your headquarters for American-made Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and Jeeps, plus a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Shop local. Visit shopschicker.com.
Thank you, Mr. Earthquake.
You're welcome.
Hang tight. We'll be right back. Okay, that is it for us today. Although, man, I need a massage. Rafe,
I got you.
will you help me? I have what's called bang-over.
Uh-huh.
Do you ever get that? Playing shows
Can you
and things?
explain what a bangover
Okay,
is?
so a
to you?
bangover is if you haven't played a show in a little bit, or maybe let's say you just go to shows and you are headbanging, and I mean like headbanging, baby, and it feels great in the moment. But then the
Right.
next day when you wake up, your back and your neck are sore. It's a bangover.
Yeah.
I like that.
The next day?
Bangover. It could go either way. I mean, a bangover at concerts and a bangover from a really wild ass weekend.
Well, yeah,
You know?
I guess so. For me, it's a testament to how fun how much fun I had at Rotten Apple Fest on Saturday night. I got gnarly bangover, and last night my wife for Father's Day gave me a massage to help it. She's like, "You okay?" I was like, "I'll be fine by tomorrow." Not the case, dude. Hardcore bangover. I'm
I
suffering.
think he's want
yo.
another massage.
I do.
Smart.
Will you help me out?
Of course.
Somebody touch this man.
Yes. Anybody.
I'll rub you.
Rizz is back on the show tomorrow. Excited to hear all about the Grand Marshal. And I was just catching up on the social media. Rafe and Scott were out there, and they were filming a bunch of stuff and posted on our Instagram, and maybe there's some stuff on Facebook as well. At RIZZ Show, make sure you check out the stories while they're still up. You get 24 hours on those. Also, we had that Am I the A-hole poll up there, and I still want to hear people weigh in. So if you didn't hear the show, make sure you check out the podcasts and then go over to our Facebook and our X account at RIZZ Show and weigh in on whether this guy is the a-hole or not. We all had, and including Steve Ewing, we all had an opinion on it, and I want to hear your opinion as well.
And
The
speaking of
podcast-
holes, filmoholes.com. Let's not forget that's up and running.
It's live,
right.
baby. It is live.
And we're
Show
still
us
in
your holes.
early talks. Show us your holes. Post your holes and locations.
Yes.
And we're in early talks. There's an offer on the table for a company to possibly come and fill those holes,
Get out of here.
as long as it doesn't give us any liability. We're working on that right now. But just know that there's a point to all of this. So show us your holes,
That's
give
right.
us the
Show us your
locations,
holes.
and maybe, just maybe, the heroes you need can swoop in and save the day.
I got a Filmo Holes related email. It's a good one with a good ending that we'll get into the show tomorrow. But we'll leave you with this, the Team Rizz member of the day. Actually, before that, don't forget to check out the clip of the day brought to you by Michaels. And, of course, the podcast, which is brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto. What's the title for today?
Yadi would never do that.
Yadi would never do that.
Yeah.
Your Team Rizz member of the day brought to you by Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grills, Elijah Cruson.
Elijah.